Danfo offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
History isn't just what happened, it's who we are. And now you can explore Africa's incredible past like never before. Introducing the new and engaging course catalog from aelearning.net, a world-class provider of interactive e-learning focused on Africa's rich and diverse history. From the rise of ancient Nubia and the power of the Mali Empire, to the architectural wonders of Egypt and the development of astrological knowledge by the Dogon people, each self-paced course brings history to life through stunning visuals, immersive video lessons, and interactive assessments. Designed for students, educators, and lifelong learners around the world, AE Learning's courses make discovering Africa's story easier, deeper, and more engaging than ever. With AE Learning, education meets flexibility. Whether you're a student, teacher, or lifelong learner, our platform gives you access to credible knowledge, rich multimedia lessons, and tools that make learning African history engaging and unforgettable. Join thousands of learners already rediscovering Africa's past and shaping its future. Visit www.aelearning.net today. Start your journey through Africa's past today, because the story of Africa is the story of us all. AE Learning, inspiration through high-quality education.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thanks so much for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Got a couple of announcements before we get started. Announcement number one, we are rolling to Senegal. And y'all listen, okay? What's going on in the Middle East is in no way related to going to Senegal. No way related. Senegal's here, that's over there. Like I remember when Ukraine and Russia started their little skirmish, and people are like, well, Dinah, is it safe to travel to Africa still? Huh? I don't what? Is it still safe to travel to Africa? I'm like, okay. That's Russia, Ukraine. We come in to Africa. Like that's completely separate. All right, that's something. There's no relation, okay? The only thing that's kind of closely related to it is the ticket price is gonna go up a little bit because because of the whole gas situation. Excuse me, I know Delta already came out and said that. So outside of that, I mean, it's the plane, the wheels, plane is still up in the air, wings still up in the air. So I don't know. I don't know what y'all talking about. We rolling. All right. We will be in Senegal in May. May 9th to the 18th for the Jazz Festival. Were people panicking about traveling when the war was going on in the Middle East with Iraq? I don't get it. But anyways, y'all. Yeah, so we are rolling to Senegal in May for the Jazz Festival, Nigeria in August for Oshun, and then we're going to where else we going? Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue, and then we're doing Ghana and Ivory Coast in November. So please visit danfo.africa. Again, please visit danfo.africa to learn more. What else we got going, y'all? What else we got going? That's about it. But yeah, let's jump into today's topic. And guys, and this is danfo.africa. Make sure you guys sign up to the for the mailing list. Again, make sure you guys sign up for the mailing list when you guys go to the site, you know. Sign up for the mailing list, y'all. And that's the site. And that's where we at. Visit danfo.africa to learn more. Africa gets no respect because of Bam Adebayo. Bam just went off for 83 points. What are you talking about? Again, Bam just went off for 83 points. Second most points scored in the history of the NBA. After, of course, Wilt Chamberlain, which for some reason no one has film. Has anyone ever seen film? He says he's not African. What did he say that? Well, his dad is Yoruba, but his mother's African American. So I mean, who knows? But no one has footage, which is interesting. Is there any actual footage of Wilt Chamberlain going for 100? Is there any actual footage of Wilt Chamberlain going for 100 points? I don't know. But yeah, let's jump to today's topic. He didn't grow up in a African household. Well, his father wasn't around. Let me turn this a little bit. But his father wasn't around. Bam's dad wasn't around. Oh well, you know. Oh, okay. His dad wasn't around. But where's his dad go? Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay, I'm reading it now. As a child, he was given the nickname Bam Bam by his mother while watching the Flintstones at age 1. He flipped over a coffee table in a manner similar to the show's character Bam Bam Rubble. Adebayo moved with his mother to North Carolina when he was 7. He had little further interaction with his father, who died in 2020 in Nigeria. Oh, okay. Adebayo grew up presenting his last name and Nigerian heritage due to the. Oh, okay. There we go. Due to the distance from his father. Okay. I wonder what's the story behind that. Well, I mean, the story behind that, like, was his father like an actual citizen here? Or was he out here hustling? Let me stop. The guy's passed away. Let me stop. Let me stop. I need to stop. Okay, we're gonna move on. Because I know some of these African, Black American women, African men, Black American relationships be somewhat complicated, but I don't know the full story behind it. So we're gonna leave it alone because his father's not here. Oh, his dad was trying to get. Okay, see, I didn't want to say it, but I had a feeling because that a lot of times that's the case. His dad was trying to get papers from his mom, but was later deported. Okay, there we go. I wasn't gonna, like, I was about to say it, but because I know a lot of times that's the case. That's why I asked if he was an actual citizen here. That was the first question I asked. But still, we can't confirm that unless Elvis, you can confirm that. But I mean, in a lot of cases, that's what happens. That's why I said a lot of these Black American women, African American women, and African men relationships be complicated. They be hustling draws for green cards. But hey, yeah. But I don't know, Elvis. Is that confirmed? But anyways, let's jump into today's topic. Credit given to his FBA mother. Okay. So is he FBA or not? Is he considered FBA? Will he be considered FBA, y'all? Is Bam Adebayo, is he FBA? Let's listen to this BS excuse from Patrice Motsepe, who's one of the richest Black men in the world, who's also the president of AFCON, and who also supported the actions of AFCON to disqualify Senegal and take away their championship and give it to Morocco, which is crazy. So let's listen to Patrice babble of why it's okay, or why it was okay.
Where over 90% of the people who use their products saw an improvement in the skin. Having good skin demonstrates good.
I've been informed of the ruling by the CAF Appeals Board concerning the appeal by Morocco relating to the AFCON Morocco 2025 final match. And I previously expressed my extreme disappointment with the incidences that took place at the final match. And the important thing of what happened on that final match is it undermines the good work that CAF has done over many, many years to ensure that that there's integrity, that there's respect, that there's ethics, that there's governance, as well as credibility of the results of our football matches. The occurrences, those incidences at the final match of the AFCON Morocco exposes is the work that we are still dealing with concerning the suspicion and distrust. It's a legacy issue. When I became president, one of the major concerns was the impartiality, the independence, and the respect of referees and match commissioners. And a lot of good work has been done, but there continues to be suspicion, because it's a legacy issue. It's something that has been there for many, many years, and we consistently deal with that because that's critically important. Another important matter that these incidences at the final match brought to the fore is the independence and the respect of our judicial bodies. We, in choosing the members of our judicial bodies, we followed a different path, different from what had been the case before. We invited each member association, and we invited every zone, the 6 regional areas or the 6 zones in CAF, to give us names of respected judges and respected lawyers, because it is important that the decisions of our disciplinary board, the CAF disciplinary board, and the decisions of the CAF appeals board is viewed with the respect and integrity that's very important to us. So if you look at the composition of those bodies, they reflect some of the most respected lawyers and judges on the continent. And but we will still have to deal with this, with the perceptions and the concerns about the integrity. It's an ongoing issue. We are very clear at CAF that we are enormously committed to ensure that, not only in terms of what we do, because we've implemented best practices. We've identified judges and lawyers from every region, from every zone from the 54 countries in Africa, to make sure that these are people who have integrity and have a track record. And partly the independence is reflected by the decisions that were taken by the 2 bodies. The CAF disciplinary board took one decision. The CAF appeals board took a totally different position. And I'm told that Senegal is going to appeal, which is very important. Every one of the 54 nations in Africa have a right to pursue their appeals and their advance interests, not only at the highest level in Africa, in CAF, but also the highest body, which is the CAS. And we will adhere and respect the decision that's taken at the highest level. A critical factor is that not a single country in Africa will be treated in a manner that is more preferential or more advantageous or more favorable than any other country on the African continent. We take what has happened at the final match in Morocco during the AFCON, the Total Energies CAF Morocco 2025, we take it very, very seriously. And we have already started with very important steps to make sure that those areas which have been identified as deficiencies and where there's need for improvement, that the necessary resolutions are passed. We have very high standards that we set for ourselves. It is important for us that ordinary football supporters and spectators in every one of the 54 countries in Africa, in their judgment, not in CAF's judgment, not in my judgment, regard the decisions of our judicial bodies as fair, with integrity and impartiality. And what is equally important, that they regard our referees, our VAR operators, and our match commissioners as people who are fair and just, and those decisions that are taken reflects the impartiality and independence that's critically important.
I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Don't you let me go, or you never come back.
So are decisions like this the reason why Africa gets no respect? This should have been addressed 2 months ago or 3 months ago, whenever AFCON was, whenever this infraction happened during the game is when this should have been addressed, not 2-3 months later. So are issues like this, situations like this, the reason why Africa gets no respect? How are you going to wait 3 months and your reason being is an infraction, but you continue to play the game anyway and play it out? How are you going to wait 3 months to make a decision to strip a team of their title and give it to someone else? Yeah, so I read a quote from a Moroccan player today saying, like, listen, man, we moved on. We're not worried about it. I read that today. But guys, links in the chat room, if you want to call in. Links in the chat room. Senegal was conditional, but they continued to play the game. If they forfeited the game should have been ended and forfeited right then and there. All right. I think after this, they went into penalty kicks, right? They shouldn't have continued the game. Go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, Dynasty.
No problem.
Hello to you in the chat.
Peace.
Look, I think the issue here is there's this report that's coming out that they didn't have quorum. So there are, I think, 9 members of the decision making body, and only 5 of them were present. But one of them was reportedly ineligible to be there because I think his time had expired. So they didn't have the majority of the people there to form quorum, where they could make a decision. So only four eligible members really made that decision out of the 9. So 4 was not there and 1 was ineligible. So that decision shouldn't even be upheld. But secondly, the question is not about the time frame, because you can go to a court of arbitration for sports for anything that you thought was maybe just advantage your side, and they will review it and give you a ruling. And that's what Morocco did. But like you're saying, on the sporting side of it, Morocco thought that they was going to score that penalty in extra time and win the game and celebrate like they won the African Cup of Nations. But that player missed it, and Senegal scored. So my point here is Morocco did the same thing against Guinea. I think in 1976 they had an AFCON where they drew the game, but because it was like a round robin kind of situation where it's based on like total amount of points, they walked off, I think, like the 80th minute or something like that, where Guinea was up 1-0 and the Moroccan player got a red card. They walked off for like an hour, a long time. They walked off for a long time, and then they came back. Morocco equalized, and they won that championship in, I think, 76 or so, maybe in the 80s. And they, that's how they got their first and only African championship, African Cup of Nations. In that tournament, we have to be proud as sub-Saharan Africans, as they call, quote unquote, call us, because Cameroon, I think, has dominated the tournament. Nigeria, I think, has a couple of them. Cote d'Ivoire, I think Ghana have 1 or so. Senegal now has 2. So West Africa in particular, and including Cameroon, which is kind of West Africa, but Central Africa really, they've really dominated the country in North Africa. The likes of Egypt was one of a few of them. Algeria, Tunisia. Morocco is probably the least out of the 3 countries, and I think they really wanted to get the second because they did put a lot of money in hosting that tournament. I think they really felt like they had the advantage. But I think the president, you can't blame the president, because the president don't make the decision. Doesn't go to him to be the ultimate arbiter of these kinds of decisions. They have a board that's constituted with different, members, and they have different, roles to play. So Mosepe has really done a great job of revitalizing, CAF. So let's not take anything away from him. He's an excellent businessman. He's an excellent manager, and he knows how to put things together and maintain it and grow it. So in that regard, he's done a good job. I think what happened here is technically Morocco has a leg to stand on, because again, if you're ever a sports athlete like myself, when I was younger, I played soccer and so on. You've always told to be disciplined, to restrain yourself on the field of play and not to be abusive to the referee or to leave the pitch or to be aggressive to other players. Like, so when Senegal left the pitch, they were wrong. Optically, it looked bad for them. And for us as black people, they got angry. They expressed their anger by walking off. They shouldn't have done that. And in that moment, the referee could have stopped the game for sure, yes. But when they came back on the pitch and he restarted the game and they played the game and Morocco accepted it and they didn't play or say that they were playing in protest, they allowed the game to go on, and both parties pretty much agreed to to continue the game, and they lost on the field of play. And that's why I think Ashraf Hakimi listened to his mother, who is mostly of African descent, said that he shouldn't take it because they lost on the field, fair and square. So for me, I don't think this is a big issue. We got a lot of other things going on in the world that's more important than just sporting, But I think overall, the court of arbitration for sports, CAS, is most likely going to overturn his decision, and it's probably going to stay with Senegal. But I'll pass the mic.
I'll go ahead, Burkina Bay.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, initially, because you see, I mean, the AFCON have always been a big tournament and a big event for Africans, all right? And it's only, I think, with this edition that like it was the most aired throughout the whole planet. Like the audience for this edition broke all records compared to every other AFCON editions, all right? So this is a detail that is important to consider, all right? So, but before the AFCON became this popular, what happened is that like most African players played in Europe, and even now it is still the case, right? Because whenever the AFCON is not happening, but then most African players play for European teams like Real Madrid or Barcelona, or like in England, like Arsenal and all those teams, right? What they used to do at the time that the AFCON wasn't like as aired and popular as it is right now, what they used to do is that they used to put pressure on the African players, like threatening them to like let's say if you go to the AFCON, if you go play the AFCON, but then you lose your spot if you come back to Europe, all right? We'll bench you if you come back to Europe. So they used to put pressures like that on the African players, right? And many stubborn African players did it regardless, all right? And some of them got benched, some of them got punished like in the past, but many others didn't, simply based on the fact that they were very important for those European teams, all right? So this is just to give like context to everything that is happening, okay? So now that the AFCON have become so popular, so then like the higher ups, like the FIFA and like all the organizers now feel like the AFCON is going to take over and become more popular than the Euro, all right? Which is like the equivalent of the European equivalent of the AFCON, all right? They're scared that the AFCON become more popular than the World Cup, right? The World Cup is like the ultimate stage. So for all those reasons, this is why I personally think that they came up with this decision, all right, to make the AFCON lose credibility, all right? I think it was something that was done on purpose, but that wasn't the only reason. Because of course we know that Morocco really wanted to win this, right? They really wanted to win it based on like all the investment and based on also the fact that so many people followed the final, and they didn't want the whole planet to see them lose to a black team, right? So that also have something to do with it, okay? But now, here's another thing. There's a couple of other things that weren't even mentioned simply because like the Senegalese, the Senegalese Federation failed to like to gather all the facts that they needed, okay? And I'll give you guys examples, okay? Because like you see, ever since the start of like this particular AFCON edition, all right, there was two Senegalese players that were the highest performing players, all right, in the squad, all right. You have Crépin Diatta, and the other one I think is Pape Matar, all right. These two players were the highest performing players in the squad. Guess what? Right before the final, they got poisoned, all right. They got poisoned, and like they got sick surprisingly, and went to the hospital, right? And unfortunately, they went to like Morocco hospitals instead of going to their own hospital, right? And as you guys know, as you guys are guessing, those Morocco doctors covered the evidences of whatever that was done to them. And they did this to them, all right, to favor themselves for this final that they lost, right? And these are evidences that like the Senegalese Federation should be able to like to bring in court to help them. But unfortunately, since they dealt with like Morocco doctors, but then like they don't have any serious evidence about this situation that I'm explaining to you, okay? Added to that, right? There's up to like, I think 3 black journalists that were assassinated during the AFCON, the same edition, okay? One journalist from Mali, and like one from Cameroon, and the third one, I forgot from what country he was from, right? And these journalists, right before getting assassinated, they were all highlighting and making interviews and talking about the fact that like some referees were bribed, and talking about the fact that like the Morocco Federation or like the organizers purchased or like did things so that the games can go in their favor. So right before getting assassinated, those are the subjects they were having. And they were assassinated, like the Malian journalist who got assassinated, like he died in his hotel room, and like they looked into like the footages and they couldn't find them. So they suppressed all the evidences and any potential footages of what happened to him. So this to tell you how much, like how more have happened, more than like what is highlighted, okay? And this all I will say for now, okay, is that all in all, the FIFA and all the organizers, they're very scared that the AFCON becomes bigger than like either the World Cup and even the European competitions like the Champions League or even the Euro, all right? And that's the reason why they did this 2 months later, right? Because now that they did it, but then now the entire planet, they're like, these guys are jokes. The AFCON can't be taken serious, right? And all these people all followed it, many of them for the first time, right? Because like the AFCON was never as followed as this one time, all right? And that's the very reason why I think they did this. So this is all I will say for now.
All right, go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, greetings. As a Muslim, I say Eid Mubarak to everybody on the platform.
Yeah,
and
Eid Mubarak.
thank you, sir. Yeah. Greetings to everyone. Dennis, yeah, I agree with some of the point you made. Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing really for the continent to the people of the continent to agree with this decision to be made. At a time, when we know this game have ended over 2 months ago, and it's actually quite wrong because yes, there are some clauses in there that actually give rights, to the Moroccans to appeal and looked at, which is Article 82 of AFCON regulations, state that if a team refuses to play or leave the ground before the end of the game, and obviously the referee, obviously, and they can do that, okay, and they will be considered. The referee can consider it as a lost game, but the referee should actually decided that that decision should be taken on that day, and also under Article 84. Any team that violated Article 82 will be permanently eliminated and lose the match. Okay, 3-0. So if this AFCON was an organization that have any credibility, that decision should have been made on that day. I'm going to make it short, not be long with it. And also, at the same time, Rule 5.2 of IFAB, which is a law um, of the game, states that the decision of the referee regarding the fact connected with the play, including whether or not a goal is scored and the result of the match is final. Basically, that should have been the case, to be honest. This is where I think the Senegalese will have ground to appeal against this to actually get this cut back from them, because the referee have decided on that day, on that game, that Senegal has won the game, and he did not disqualify them or actually call the game off. So this decision came in, you know, months after. Obviously, we knew, as we were speaking the other day about this, we talked about this. Some of these high, money people in the world, they are behind AFCON, FIFA, and so on. They obviously have lobbied so hard. They have spent money in the back. We know Morocco is one of the biggest spender of AFCON, and you know, I reckon they have done some underhand, work to actually discredit the Senegalese team and actually reverse the decision that was originally made by the referee. So I think there's a arbitrary court in Switzerland where most of these decisions are made. I think the Senegalese team should go there and appeal and get this cut back. They shouldn't just fold their hands, sit on their hands, and let injustice just prevail on them. It's wrong. If they played so hard, they won the game, it should be rewarded to them, not by Moroccans, just because they got the money and they have the influence to do so. And it is unprecedented, to be honest. I agree. There's so many people who were drawn to watch the game, but they wasn't drawn to watch the game for the wrong reason. And I agree also, we should be professional as footballers at all time. But I'm as a someone that support Arsenal. I'm sorry, guys, if you're Tottenham. You know, um, we know that a lot of players who have misbehaved over the years, they was actually rewarded and gained a lot of popularity, through this, and they wasn't heavily penalized. And we know how biased, these games can be, and the referees and the federation, whether it's to do FIFA or to do with AFCON. So I think Senegal should fight it. They shouldn't just give it up. It's their cup. They actually work so hard for it. So why would someone else just come over and bulldoze them their victory and take the cup from them? I'll pass the mic for now. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, CD.
Hey guys, hey Danny, it's Africa.
Yes, big bro.
So
Yeah, hi.
yes, yeah. So my thought on this whole thing is uh FIFA already took that decision before they come up with the second decision, right? So they find some of the players, Senegalese player were fined, millions of CFA, and also some Moroccan player, the guy that was stealing towels from the goalkeeper, he was also fined, right? So, and for them to rule that out and come up with another decision, that was the most frustrated part, right? Because they are already found some of these players. But even when it came out with the second decision now to overturn the first one, or the one of the Moroccan player was found, they waived his fine that he don't need to pay the fine. So I don't know why they did that. And African football being championship being one of the oldest championship in the world. So they went back to history and they found out in 1976 or Guinea against Morocco, the same thing happened, right? So the Moroccan player walked off the field and they came back and they played against Guinea and they defeated Guinea and they took the cup. So now people have gone back to the history to find out that. So this was a complete embarrassment because I'm a very, very, I follow soccer a lot because I used to play soccer. I mean, I played soccer in New York through college to sponsor myself. That's how I got scholarship to go to school. I was in Ivory Coast when they played the African Cup of Nations in 2024. So the first opening match, I think Equatorial Guinea defeated Ivory Coast, you know, and everybody thought Ivory Coast was out. But they fight it through. They went to the final with Nigeria. They do the final. They defeated Nigeria. They took the cup. right? And Moroccan were there, no, North. The whole thing that frustrating in North African, it have been almost 50 years they haven't taken African Cup of Nation. Almost 50, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so probably okay, more
Algeria won it in like 2020 or so. They beat
okay,
Senegal.
yeah, I think it's Morocco specifically. Because since one of their players they used to go Aziz Moudali Bala, since his time they haven't won African Cup of Nations. So they've been very frustrated with that. But no matter how they spend, Ivory Coast Bay almost 7 stadiums. I think it was the most expensive African Cup of Nations to me. The amount of money they invested in that championship, right? So for them to come up with this, because their whole thought was this was their dream that definitely they're gonna win this. But what took them on a surprise was all the games that they play, they have favor somehow because of the championship is being played in Morocco. And they met up with a lot of easy team. Now most of the team that they met up with were very easy for them to walk them through. It's even especially when they play against Nigeria. They were harassing Nigerian defender. The goalkeeper, they were taking his towel away. So there were a lot of things that went down, especially Ghanaian referee, because Ghana and Nigeria they always have that rivalry. So he was 100% against in favor of Morocco. So, but again, at the end of the day, I think right now Senegal has the best team in Africa. Even I would say one of the best team in the world because I watched a friendly match against Brazil. They defeated Brazil, right? I had a friendly match with England. They defeated England. So they have one of the youngest squad right now and one of the
Yeah,
best team in the world. They
yeah,
have a very good team.
that defeated Brazil 2 times.
Yeah, so the team is very, very good and young again, very young. They have the future. And they have won African Cup of Nations 2 times, Africa maybe 3 times. So the one that they play in Senegal, I think Africa was the one that won that. Well, when this guy, Alaji Diop, used to play for them. So yeah, I've already set a history. If I were them, I would give the cup away to Morocco, let they take it. But again, if they decide to go against the decision, I think they will try to punish them during the World Cup. And I knew this was coming because Flantino, who is Italian, he's the president for FIFA. When the CAF president presented the cup to him, he turned it down. He said he didn't want it to go on the stage. I knew something like they were not happy for Senegal to win this cup. They were not happy at all. And this African Cup of Nations being the most, I think it's about 180 countries watched the game, the most popular ever. The game was all over. Everybody watched it. Brazil, South America, everywhere. Everybody watched the game. It was it was one of the best organized games so far. It was well organized by Morocco. They did extremely well, and they spent a lot of money. But the reality is, when these people come with a certain decision, you can't rule it out. You just have to do your best to go to the World Cup and prove yourself. I think that's what Senegal has to do right now. You know, but I'm glad again at the same time this happened to Senegal because they always worship the Arabs. I've been saying this because when Palestine and Israelis war, Senegalese were demonstrating in Senegal in favor of Palestine. I'm not against that. Everybody knew that there was a genocide going on there. But when there's a similar incident in South Sudan where they were killing black Sudanese, they are Christian, and the Arab was killing them, I didn't see Senegalese demonstrating. But they seem to be more identifying themselves with religion more than being African. This is the part that I'm frustrated with Senegalese sometimes. Not only Senegalese, a lot of African Muslims, right? We have to know the Arabs, no matter what, they just don't like us. You know, we may be practicing the same religion, but they don't have that love for us. We just have to understand that. So this is a
No, they
lesson
don't.
for Senegalese to understand All the money Macky Sall stole from Senegal, he invested where? In Morocco. He lived in Morocco, right?
Mm.
So this
Yeah,
is a lesson for Black Muslims to understand. Yeah, I'm not saying that you should not practice your religion, but you have to know that these Arab, they just don't like us.
they
They will
don't.
say, oh, brother, we all Muslim. But the reality is,
Yeah,
they just don't like Black people. This is the
no,
fact. So I'm so glad this happened to Senegal. But at the same time, again, they have the best team right now. They have the youngest team. When you look at someone like Njai, when you look at someone like Seydou Mani, then when you look at Jackson, these are all young players. They have a lot of quality in our team, right? And when Burkinabe said they were pausing that player was not, that's not true. Them non-player, wouldn't one of their left back. I think one of either their left back or the right back who got sick. He's a very good player too. He's very good. So he couldn't play because he got sick. But again, the young guy that came to play to replace him, he closed down Ibrahim Diaz because Ibrahim Diaz was the best player on Morocco team. Right. So the young
right.
player that played against him, he was probably one of the best Senegalese players. One of the best. He's very young. I think probably he's 19, 19 or
Yeah,
18. He was the
around
youngest
that.
player.
That's Ismaili Sarr. Plays with Chelsea.
Uh, is it? Wow,
He
wow.
plays
Bro,
with the
It's
Senegal.
Malasa. Yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, Elvis, are
but
you Chelsea fan?
Yeah, I'm a Chelsea fan. You haven't won anything in Europe. You won't win anything in Europe.
so
So you might
he's
you
not
might
he's
win
not
the
he's
league
not he's
after
not a
20
start
years.
he's not a starting
I'm a,
player in Chelsea
I'm an
team though.
Arsenal man,
Because
you know.
I know you're Arsenal. That's what I'm telling you. You might win the league, but you haven't won the Champions League, and you probably never will.
Mm,
So we got two of those
uh,
things, bro.
yeah, but he's not a starting player on Chelsea team.
No,
He's
he's
not
not a
starting.
starting. Yeah, he's not a starting player. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
still
he used
young
to
though.
play. He used to play in one of these team, or I think Everton. There he was a starting player.
yeah,
He was a very active player. But again, I got
yeah.
the guy that playing there, Mayfield, the young guy they call Jai. He
Yeah,
used to play for PSG.
Solomon and
Right,
Jai plays for Everton.
right, right. And the guy who gonna gay, the gay guy that play in the Mayfield again, he used to play for PSG. He left from PSG again to Everton.
Yeah, he
So
just
they
again.
right. So they have a lot of quality. I believe Senegal is the team right now that can win that World Cup. They have so much quality in that team. So African Cup, yeah, they deserve it, yes, but they have already won a couple of times. I don't think they need it right now. They should focus on the World Cup. You know, that should be their focus. And
Yeah,
then
the,
the history show that the Morocco did the same thing against Guinea. So they went back to the record and found out that they did the same thing to Guinea, but they still gave them the cup. So I don't know
mhm.
what going to be
Yeah,
the
you're
final
right. In the
decision.
last in the last five African Cup of Nations, Senegal has made it to four,
Yes,
finals.
yes.
They won two and lost two. The loss against Egypt and Algeria, and one against
Okay. And
Algeria.
they have a very good youth. They have a foundation for soccer.
Yeah,
Senegal
but
and Ivory Coast, they have a
let's
very
be
good
honest.
And Ivory
foundation.
Coast, and
Let's be
Ivory
honest.
Coast, and
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Most of
yeah,
these players are really developed in Europe, so they're not developed in their home countries. Usually they either migrated to Europe very early or was born in Europe, like the likes of Koulibaly,
Mm-hmm.
Koulibaly
right.
Koulibaly and some others. So they go to these, academies in France and mostly in France and maybe in Belgium in some cases. And that's
Right.
where they really learn the trade. Same thing with Moroccan players. A lot of them are born in France. So
Oh
they
yeah, yeah.
have that, yeah, they speak French, they play in France. And a lot of them, that's how they learn how to play football. So we're
Mm-hmm.
proud of our African brothers, but most of them, they didn't get developed by their home countries. They got developed in Europe. And that's
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the embarrassing thing of
Yeah,
Africa. The
mm,
reason why Egypt really dominates because they have a strong academy in Egypt. The likes of Mo Salah, he was a
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
academy player in Egypt before he went to Basel in Switzerland, and he started playing there. But I think Africa, we don't have the resources to really invest in the academies across our continent for our players to be bred and raised on the continent. So we have to send them to Europe, or the parents go out to Europe and they go to these academies, and that's how they really learn it. So give Europe some credit, even though we don't like to give the white men credit, but they are the ones that really put the minds and the physical, stuff into our African players, and then they come back and they dominate and they play well for our countries. But for me, I think overall, Senegal, like you said, I would agree with you. They're probably the strongest team. I remember, I think it was 2003 World Cup, and Senegal was 2002 maybe when they beat France in the quarterfinals,
Yes.
which was crazy. The whole of Africa was upside down when that happened. You know,
Yeah.
Kamara, you know, House
Like that,
Dude,
Elijah Diouf, yeah, all
and
these
all those
guys.
guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy. So Senegal I've always had a good team. Physically, they're a really gifted group of people. They have good physique and they're strong guys and they play well and they represent our continent well. But overall, I think what the CAF situation is one that is dominated by North Africa. It's stationed in Egypt.
Egypt, yeah.
And it's just a
Yeah,
coincidence. Egypt has won the most African Cup of Nations, seven out of every other
Yeah.
country
yeah,
won
Hmm.
the most. And the
Yeah.
Arabs really dominated. And also it's because West African countries and maybe Central African countries, we don't really put a lot in terms of funding. So these Northern African countries, they fund a lot of it and they have a lot more power, outsized
yeah,
power than say West Africa like Nigeria, who should really be dominating, but they don't
yeah,
really invest into it. So
yeah.
I
But
mean, we know
again, even if you look at this guy Ibrahim Diaz, he doesn't even speak Arabic, but he was born in Spain. They got
he
a
used to
Yeah.
play.
they got a
Yeah, he used
Messi
to play for
penalty.
Spain. He just now changed his nationality to
Right.
Morocco. This is his first time playing
Ah, I
for.
never knew that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
he
never
doesn't
knew
even
that.
speak Arabic. Yeah, he was born in Spain. He played for Real Madrid. He
he
grew
played
up
for
in
the Spain
Real
under
Madrid.
21, and he
Yeah,
just
Mm,
because he couldn't break into the senior team, he just then switched his nationality to
yeah.
Morocco. This is his first tournament he's ever played for Morocco.
Even the
wow.
youngest guy,
So
the youngest striker that played for Senegal, you remember the guy that played for PSG? I think he's 18, 18 or 17.
mhm.
He grew up in France again. He was born in France and grew up there. And the guy also that was playing Senegal right back, the light skinned brother. His mother is French and his father is Senegal. He was born in France, did everything in France. You
Right, his
know.
home
Right.
France. So
So
So no, I
but
mean, but sorry. However, that we do have some countries that trying their best, like Ivory Coast.
oh
I think
yeah.
even Ghana, yeah, they even Ghana, and to some extent Senegal, they trying to build this new football academy and stuff like that. Especially Ivory Coast and Ghana. I think they over the years they try to build a good football academy where a lot of their players are actually trained there. And also, I
No,
saw
I
a
would say
company,
Senegal. I would say Senegal in
but
Africa.
yeah,
what's
and
Ghana,
Senegal,
happening?
Ghana
Senegal.
being back home.
Africa,
No,
what's happening with that academy is that there's a new
yeah,
kid that just came from Ivory Coast, right? His name is
mm,
Zamble. He's
okay,
he's a Ivorian kid. At like 15
right,
years old, went to San Jose FC and signed his first, professional contract, and now he's playing in the United States. But what I'm saying is, most of these players, they will get scouted by European teams, especially France,
right.
Mid Spain,
Mm-hmm.
and before they
That's
can
true.
even really develop, maybe at 10 or 11, they then transfer to Europe and play in those academies, and that's where they really learn how to play football. So I'm saying
Mm,
we can't see the process through. We always have to let them go at very early age, or they have to be born outside of our continent and get developed, and then choose to play for their home, the countries of their parents or their home countries that they didn't really grow up in. So it's like, are we really proud that we're developing or producing these talents, or it's just their heritage that comes back to us because we're not developing them? That's the point that I'm making. Because if Europe
yeah, no,
stops
I agree.
taking our talent, can we really put together a strong team like the Senegalese team? Because all the Senegalese team players, for example, all play in France. Most of them are
Mm-hmm.
based in France. Some of
Yeah.
them were born in France. So just a thought.
Yeah,
And
no,
Joma,
that's
and even
that,
the
that.
guy Jomande guy that played for Ivory Coast, I think he was one of the best players on Ivory Coast team. He was born in Miami, so they discovered him in Miami, and now he play. I think Bayern Munich want to
Yeah,
buy
he
him.
plays. He plays for. I think he's played for Red Bull. I think either in Germany. Plays in
Right.
Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Jan Demande.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So.
mean, I see something encouraging also in Liberia, like with the Intel. I know it's very early start, right? Because there's a lady in Sierra Leone who worked very close with the FIFA president because she was his assistant in Sierra Leone,
Mm-hmm.
and she was saying when the FIFA president came to Sierra Leone and they had a very good meeting and basically she's what they're trying to do at the moment, they're trying to establish local leagues and local football association in West Africa. And I think the one you see in Liberia at the moment is one of them, the Intel. it's quite encouraging what I've seen Liberia with the league. You got all the
Yeah.
local.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't know if
Liberia had his heyday when George Weah was playing because just
yeah.
through him, we didn't really have academies. So through Weah, you had the likes of James Dibba,
The
Christopher Rare, who plays
Joshua
for
Wale,
Arsenal.
Kevin Singbe, all
And we
those
seen
guys.
with Prince Day, those guys, they were able to go to Europe just through word of mouth of George Weah. That's why you had Ali Dia, who lied and said he was George Weah's cousin and went to Stoke and couldn't kick a football and lied and got a professional contract just on the strength of George Weah's name. But in
Oh
Liberia, we
sure.
don't really have an academy. We had a president at one time who was a chief, patron of sports, so he put a lot of money and helped George Weah and those guys to go out there. But in West Africa, especially in poor nations like Liberia and Sierra Leone, we don't really have the infrastructure. And since we're not quote unquote close to England, like some other countries like Nigeria, where a lot of our players can go to Britain and be a part of those academies, most of our Liberian players want to come to the United States. And here you're gonna be lacking behind your counterparts in France and in the UK because they have better footballing academies and they tend to
But
develop more.
do you know your manager in Chelsea manager is Sierra Leonean, you know that, right? It's
I
African
mean,
name.
his dad is Sierra Leone, but his mom is white. So is he really Sierra
Yeah.
Leone?
No, but we do have a lot of good players in Europe from Sierra Leone. And also, it's a shame that the league, the Liberian did not follow the legacy of George Weah because he still is very loved and respected in Europe.
But
But we do
again,
have few Sierra Leoneans playing in the league.
you see, a lot of Malian players and Burkinabe players, they grew up on the Cami Ivory Coast again. So you find out most
Yeah,
of the guys
Ivory
that
Coast.
play for Mali team and Burkina Faso because Africa they have a very good foundation for sport.
Yeah, yeah.
Not only football, even American football. They have almost everything for things like that. So most of the players that play for Mali team or Burkina Faso, they actually were born in Ivory Coast, and then they went to the football academy over there, and then they play for their country. But
Yeah,
Ivory
we
Coast,
got
they
we got
have
a
a
new guy. We got a new guy on the panel. Maybe we should pass
Hey,
it
all right,
on.
yeah.
Cosmic Cows, go ahead.
Yeah, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? A long time no see. So, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, go
We
We
ahead.
can
bro,
hear you,
welcome.
go.
We're
Okay, yeah. So you asked the question: is this the reason why Africa gets no respect? The question is, who funded that Morocco AFCON? Who? That Morocco AFCON was funded by the European Union. This is an example of why we should never involve Europeans in anything we do. So the question is this what happens when we invite Europeans into African business? Because why is it that the first time the European Union is sponsoring the AFCON, something that's never happened in the AFCON happened?
That had nothing to do
Why?
with the decision, though.
Man, I'm not. Look at. You can say what you want to say. We all know that tournament was corrupt from head to toe. That whole tournament was corrupt. The whole world could see that they wanted Morocco to win. So it's not about the rule; it's about the whole tournament. So you can say whatever you want to say about the rules and the rules are not rules. The truth is that tournament was corrupt. So
Can I
again,
can I just push back on you before you finish, brother? If you don't mind.
yeah, what you want to
Okay,
say?
so when you say about European involvement, you know that CAF is underneath the umbrella of FIFA, right? Which is the world governing body in football.
It don't
So
matter. All that is nonsense. All that
okay,
is nonsense.
I'm just
Again,
telling.
the
Okay,
European
go ahead.
Union has never sponsored AFCON before. It's none of their business. They have no business coming into the AFCON and sponsoring AFCON. So why did they do it this time
When
around?
you say the European Union, you mean like companies like Total Energies and other companies that tend to sponsor the tournament? Is that what you mean by the European Union?
No, 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 no. This AFCON was literally you. If you go and check this the label of the Morocco AFCON, it says sponsored by the European Union. You will see it there.
I don't know what
I
you
know
mean when you say
Yeah,
sponsor by them.
yeah, that's what
Sponsor
I'm
them
saying.
by
I don't
what?
know.
What do you mean by
because
sponsor?
you guys are not paying attention. Go and check the Morocco AFCON CAF and check who sponsored it. It
I
was
want you to be
sponsored by the European
specific.
Union.
I want you to be
European
specific.
Union is sponsored by the European Union. It was
How
written
do you
there.
know?
No,
Go
because
and check it
they have
yourself.
listen, they have multiple sponsors. They have many sponsors. So the European Union was just one of the sponsors. That's fine. Like Total Energy
Right.
is based in France, but they put maybe $10 million there. You have Bean TV, for example, that broadcasted the AFCON. They put money there. Those are all sponsors. Coca-Cola. Every people that come in, companies
Yeah,
that come and try
exactly.
to sponsor and use it for commercial purposes, they are part of the sponsors of that tournament. So it's not just one entity that's
So
sponsoring.
Eh,
exactly. It's almost the
okay.
Their
Arsenal
partner,
jersey. When you
how
see Arsenal jersey, they have Rwanda on it.
I get all that.
Rwanda is one of the sponsors. It
yeah.
doesn't mean
So,
However,
anything.
Cosmic is kind of right in some type of way though. That European Union, the EC acting on behalf of the European Union, basically has officially partnered with those, the CAF. So you can. That's also there's a factor in that. So
exactly,
you're all
because
right. Yeah, yeah, you're all right.
look at
Go ahead.
it's all these people that you guys mentioned, all this company. It's not the first time because guess what? They have company based in Africa, right? It makes sense, right? Because it's not the first time they're sponsoring an African tournament. They're not new, but the question is, why did European come into this? It's none of their business. They have no reason to be here unless there was an agenda. There was no reason for European Union to be sponsoring AFCON.
I
I
It
don't
don't
has
I
see.
don't
nothing to
see
do with AFCON.
I
I
don't
don't
see the
have any
European
issue with
Union.
that. I don't
I
have
don't
any
see the
issue with
European
that
Union there. I
at
see
all.
Techno, I see
Right, right.
Orange, I see Total Energy, I see a bunch of other mobile companies that sponsor. I don't see
Again,
the
I saw it
European Union there.
myself. I saw it myself.
Okay.
The CAF Morocco CAF AFCON sponsored by European Union. It's there. Go and do your research.
I just looked it
No,
up and I
there's
didn't see it.
the-
I just saw
no,
corporation
there's
as sponsor.
I know
Elvis,
what I
Elvis,
saw. I know what I
See,
saw.
the
we want to
commission,
put every
commission.
blame on white man. I don't understand
This is
when
not
we have
about
like
putting. This is
issues.
the
We try to
truth.
put
This is the
blame on
truth.
white man. I don't understand.
So what do you
Nobody's putting blame on anybody. This is the truth. The European Union sponsored the Morocco AFCON. Go do your research.
When we
I'm
say
not lying.
something, we put the blame
they're
on
probably
white man.
one of
Either we
the
blame
sponsors.
America
Don't
or we
say they
blame Europe.
sponsored.
The point I'm trying to make is that anytime you invite these people into our shit, it goes wrong.
They've
But you
always been
have to work with the
involved.
other people. You have
Yeah,
to work with the
FIFA is
people.
always involved in it. And that's a European organization if you want to call it that.
FIFA is not European Union. Again, I'm telling you, it was written there on the logo that the AFCON Morocco AFCON CAF was sponsored by the European Union. Go and check it.
But
You
what's
can
wrong
do
with that?
everything.
No. No.
Okay,
Everything is
let
wrong
us
with
say
No,
that.
listen.
if they
When
have the
countries are hosting,
championship.
they go out there and they look for sponsors. Now, the sponsor will agree to host, agree to sponsor you based on a relationship. For example, a business relationship like Ivory Coast. Orange was a big sponsor because they're the biggest telephone company in the Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Total Energy was also a big sponsor because they're one of the biggest energy company in the Ivory Coast. So, like Morocco have a good history with France. They're a former colony of the French, and they got the European Union. If you said this is true, I haven't seen it, but I'll take your word for it. To be one of their sponsors, there's nothing wrong with it. There's a lot of sponsors, and most of these sponsors are
Uh,
European companies.
yeah, yeah,
So here's
that's
the
true.
question:
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Will the European Union allow African to sponsor Eurocup?
Yeah, but we
Yes,
have
yes, they do.
Arsenal jersey.
That
We have Rwanda on Arsenal
If you have
jersey.
the
yeah,
means to sponsor, if you have
So
$100
yeah,
million
we have the
and you want to be
money.
one of
yeah.
the
CD,
sponsors, they'll take
CD is
your
right.
money. They'll take your money
CD
and
is
call you a
right.
sponsor.
Dynast.
Yes, CD is right on that as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dynast.
So I think
As
you're all
much,
guys. You
Yo,
yeah, you're
can
all
I
guys
speak?
right.
I'll give it back to you guys.
Yeah,
Dynast.
you're all
That's
right.
the answer.
Let's
Go
not
ahead.
distract the conversation.
That's the answer. That's the answer to the question you asked. It's not because of Africa. It's because of Africans like this.
Oh
They are
boy.
not self-sufficient. They don't want to do things themselves. They
oh
always want
my
to go meet the
God.
white man to do things for them. So when the
Mm.
white man, who is your enemy, knows that he's not going to do anything for free without making you look bad, he's going to do things like that.
Okay, how about South America, South American football? We have a lot of European
That is none of
sponsors.
my concern. Africa is rich enough.
These are the
Africa is rich enough. Hold on. Africa is rich enough to sponsor itself. Our problem that we keep having is leadership and men like you guys who just can't think.
Oh boy.
No, no, I
How
wouldn't
much
go
did
that. No,
how much did the European Union give to
just be
It
sponsor?
does
respectful,
not
okay?
matter how much they give. They have no business in the African Union in the AFCON, and now you are seeing the result. When you open the gate of Africa to them, what is Africa today? Anytime you have partnered with this European, historically, when has it ever been good for us?
3 out of the 4 times of the last African
Yeah, there you
West
go.
African country has won the tournament. What does that mean?
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Cote
but we all
d'Ivoire won
been
it the
winning.
last time. Senegal
Yeah.
won it the last time. You know,
Ivory
they
Coast.
even won it this time around. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
So
how
what
is that
point are
so
you trying to
terrible
make?
for us? The
And
point is
Nigeria
that the
won it.
It
result.
does
Nigeria
not.
won it and
Who
all
wins
that.
the African? Who wins the African? The African competition does not matter. That's not the
Oh, okay.
conversation here.
No, but
That's not the conversation here.
It's
It's
literally the
Elvis,
Africa.
conversation about them trying to
I'll
strip away
let
the
him,
rightful winner.
Elvis, let the man land. Let the man land. You know, you're all making sense. You're all right in different ways. I'm not gonna, waste your time in
See,
arguing about
this
it.
is about self. See, Asia, the Asians in their football competition will not. In short, the European Union will not even dare to say they want to sponsor them. They will not even allow it because it's an insult. What the hell you mean?
No, because you're the poorest continent. Asia
We are
has
not poor. We are not poor. But when we have men like you in position of power, we are poor.
bro,
Traore already shows us.
Oh boy.
Already shows us that the problem is not poverty. The problem is mental slavery.
By numbers and by statistics, we're the poorest continent on the earth.
I don't care what the European write for you on
So you
Google.
don't care about facts, then that's what you're saying.
No, it's not fact. You
Okay.
cannot have all the natural resources in the
Having
see in
resources doesn't
Africa.
mean
Listen.
having
In
resources doesn't mean
Africa,
that you're rich.
in Africa,
Right.
look, in Africa, the average African can look left and right, find a coconut tree, find a pawpaw tree, find an apple tree, find something.
You think that's
Listen, let me finish.
You can't sponsor a tournament with pawpaw and coconuts.
That's
You
not
need
the point
money.
I'm making here. If you are listening to understand, you will listen. I'm saying even an average poor man in Africa can still find something to eat on a daily basis. Unlike if you go to Europe, you have to go work. We are not poor. We are being ruled by poor, mentally poor people. So we are not poor. I don't care what you read on Google. I don't care what they write down for you. Africa is not a poor continent. It will never be a poor continent. It has never been a poor continent.
Okay, by every quantifiable measure right now in terms of economy, in terms of GDP, Africa is the poorest continent.
Whose GDP? Who tells you that Africa?
Boy.
Listen, who tells you that Africa has to live and build like Europe?
Okay. How about I guess
You know
you're
what I'm saying?
Nigerian, right? Let's focus on Nigeria right now.
No. We don't want to focus on anything because Africa
No,
is not the
let's
same
focus
right
on
now.
your country. Let's say Nigeria.
My
Let's talk about
problem-
So let's
Nigeria
not
right
attack any one country. This guy doesn't represent the whole of Nigeria. He's from Nigeria.
See, the point I'm trying to make here is this: stop calling Europeans into our shit.
Yeah, okay.
If you cannot afford it, cut your coat according to your size. If you cannot afford it, cut your coat according to your size. We have been hosting AFCON for the past 30 years with what we got. And look at the last AFCON was more populous than the European Euro Cup.
we know that. We know.
So even with
the biggest sponsor in that AFCON tournament were both French companies, Total Energies and Orange. They're both French companies.
Again, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Working with the Russians, should they work with Europeans or not?
And Congo again. Congo sponsor one of the European team right now, right? Congo.
Rwanda is sponsoring a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Should they not be involved with European football because they're Africans?
Yeah, Rwanda is sponsoring Arsenal, for years actually.
It does not matter who you guys are mentioning. It does not matter what country you guys are mentioning. It does not matter what country you guys are mentioning. It's all the same. We are all mentally poor. Because we shouldn't be doing all those. Let me finish. We shouldn't be doing none of those things in the first place.
Okay, hey, I got to pass the mic. Man in High Castle, go ahead.
Good evening, gentlemen. How y'all been? It's the Man in the High Castle. Rise and shine, proud Americans. It is time. It's time to notify each other. You know what's going on. The World Cup is coming. And I can imagine who gets to the finals from Africa would probably be Algeria. I think it's their year.
Do you watch African football or you just putting out a country?
He's just like Africa.
I watch
Algeria. You know last time Algeria won an AFCON?
Yeah, Algeria will get the furthest there.
I don't even know what Ghana will qualify. I think Nigeria was supposed to
No,
qualify Ghana.
Ghana's gonna always dive, take the big dive.
Ghana is a
They
factor
always
team.
dive.
I prefer
They
Nigeria
always
being on
lose.
that.
Nigeria,
Okay.
Bawu. Nigeria. Don't even mention
I
Nigeria. I don't
agree.
want to see
I agree,
Nigeria in the
CD.
World Cup.
They'll always lose. Ghana, they'll
I say I agree
fall
with you.
for
I
a
agree with you,
South
CD.
Ghana don't
Korean.
have a team. Ghana is a mess up team right now. I think if Nigeria were to go, Nigeria has one of the best teams
Nigeria is
right
not
now.
going to the World Cup,
They
though.
have a
Nigeria
lot
is
of
not going to the World
quality.
Cup.
Yeah, we
Nigeria is not
know
going to the
Yeah, I
World
know.
Cup.
That's what I'm
we know
saying.
that DRC Congo beat Nigeria, which is a travesty,
Yeah,
but
we
we
just
would have loved to see them there.
If I catch any Congolese in this LA, I go fight out for that team.
I believe Algeria will go to the semifinals.
You're
That's my
seriously,
But they
opinion.
man.
may
Come
I
on,
heard it
disqualify
joking.
right
them. I
now.
think they're going to disqualify them because one of their players,
No, FIFA
break the rules.
already said it's not happening. They're going.
Oh, really?
Yeah, FIFA already,
Oh
I
my
don't want
God.
Nigeria to be there. See,
Nah,
until
Nigeria has
Nigeria
a quality. They have a
no,
good
no, no,
quality.
no, no.
They have
We
a good
might
team.
see we have individual qualities, but the problem of Nigeria is the same thing I've been saying. It's leadership. Nigeria's leadership is cursed. Imagine the FIFA gave the NFA, I think $2 million or 15 million, some amount, but billions in naira to build a world-class stadium. Did you know that this NFL wants to just go buy a plot of land and just put grass on it and build 100 seats? And build 100
Like
seats.
you said, brother, cut your club according to your measurement, right?
No, but
So
the money is
Nigeria
coming
cut
from
his club
FIFA.
according to their measurements.
Man.
Elevate and CD, you guys be nice.
Look
No,
at man.
Nigeria. They have a very good team. So the Vesama and this guy, or how they call him, this guy that played for International.
Galatasaray.
Osimhen,
Yeah, also Simon, and this
Alex
guy that played for
Iwobi,
Atletico Madrid.
Makati.
And it's funny.
Lukman. Yeah,
It's funny
these
because
guys
the
have
last
a lot of quality.
it's funny because the last two best African player of the year have been Nigerians. The last two ones have been Nigerians.
Lukman, yeah.
Rukman
No,
and
not the last
Osimhen.
two of the last three. The reigning one is Hakimi right now. He's the last one to win it. But before then, it was
Hakimi hasn't won anything.
No, Hakimi is the reigning African player of the year. Before that, it was Lookman. Before that, it was Osimhen. So he's the reigning African player of the year.
Oh, okay, yeah. But Nigeria, I don't want Nigeria to go to the World Cup. Let us just watch Ghana lose. We'll sit down and catch a boiled egg.
But why you guys, Fellaini George? Why you guys remove Fellaini George as a coach?
See, brother, let me answer that question. I'll let you finish. Let me see. The problem with Nigeria, just like with Africa, you see, if you are not organized, it doesn't matter what talent you have. If you are not institutionally organized, you cannot win anything. And that is the problem with Africa and Nigeria. Nigeria has all the. I mean, you, Africa. Now you're an elder. Now you're older. You're past me now. You know when Nigeria was at its prime. You know that for a while it was Nigeria who defined Nigeria and Cameroon and Senegal were the one who defined what African football was.
Not true. Nigeria is the last to win out of those three countries. They only won the first AFCON in 1980.
Nigeria
for its size are always underperformed.
Cameroon and Nigeria.
Cameroon has dominated. Cameroon has 5 AFCON titles.
But we have the most medals. Hold on, but we have the most medals. Okay. Right? Nigeria has 3 golds. We have about 12 silvers, and we have about 18 bronze.
Right.
We have a lot of. So there's a show. If Nigeria goes to the AFCON, we will definitely hit the semifinal. We always hit the semifinals, right? But the first person to win the Olympics was Nigeria.
Yeah, definitely, that's true.
So it's always been like that. It's always Nigeria and Cameroon.
People, man. They can't take that from them. You're right. You're very sportive people.
You guys did well to beat Argentina and Messi in that.
We beat Brazil, then we beat Argentina in the finals. And guess what? The next year we were supposed to go to the World Cup and really perform. Guess who messed it up? Our leadership. This was like 1996. We were supposed to. Is it 96?
Yeah, Rashidi Yakini, JJ Okocha.
Yeah, we were supposed to go, but guess what? Because it was so corrupt, they did not go.
Yeah,
and that was the best team we ever had. So again, we will have to reach a point as Africans. See, let me stop this English. At the end of the day, now violence will solve our problem.
Oh God, Dennis, please pass the mic.
Let me pass the mic.
No, it's the truth.
Hold on. Casanova, go ahead, Casanova, because Casanova's doing anyway.
I think it's not happy today, man.
Unmute yourself, Casanova. Casanova. Okay, let me remove her.
Chelsea is the best football team.
Yeah, I support Chelsea too, bro.
Arsenal, man. Arsenal is
Who's
the
your
best
favorite?
football
Who's
team.
your favorite player?
Yeah,
Who's your
PSG
favorite
gave
player on
Chelsea a
Chelsea?
lot of goal. You don't see
I
that
mean,
7-2?
Chelsea. I started
PSG beat
supporting
them
Chelsea
7-2.
because of my man Didier Drogba in
PSG
Oh
2006.
yeah.
beat them 7-2, right? So
Yeah. We
just
hear, but we got more Champions League than PSG and Arsenal combined.
Oh
So
God, this guy.
Arsenal hasn't won any European title.
Oh, don't stop me. Don't stop me, bro.
It might
We've
win the
been
league this
traumatized
year,
enough.
but outside of that, it ain't got nothing.
Elvis, we've been traumatized enough. Please stop.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You guys might
No,
bottle it
dude.
again. You guys might bottle be a bottle job and bottle it
Yeah,
right
sure.
before you win it. You got what, 6 more
You
games to
know,
go?
Let me
it's not
interject
easy
real quick
being
on
it.
this Chelsea thing, right? Look at what they did to that black coach, right? The white coach Maresca, he could not do anything with that team, right?
He only won
played
the Club
about
World
30,
Cup and the Conference League. What do you mean he couldn't do anything?
whatever. When it mattered, he couldn't do anything.
We beat Barcelona 3-0.
It doesn't matter. When the competition that matters, he couldn't do anything.
Okay.
Nobody is playing their best
What
player.
team do you support? What team do you support?
this guy,
Me,
we are
I'm
Nigerian.
an AC Milan. I'm an AC Milan fan. AC Milan.
Oh boy.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh my
So
God,
hold on. Let me make
AC
my
Milan
point.
is out of it.
Let me make my
Patrick,
point. Let me make my
are you
point.
from Edo? Are you from Edo?
Me?
Yeah.
Are you asking me? I'll be confirmed. I'll be a Kuta Yoruba man. I'm a Yoruba man.
Okay.
That's why
You
you and
get
I argue a lot. That is why
You
you and
can
I
tell
as
from his
Africa, we
voice.
argue a
You can
lot.
tell from his voice.
Yes,
But see, this is what I'm trying to say is this. Let me make my point, right? Maresca played how many games? 25, 30 games, right? They did not fire him, even though he was performing woefully. But they now brought in a black or a mulatto coach, but let's call him a black coach. He has only played about 6 games with a team he did not build, with players he did not buy, with players that does not even understand the system he's trying to bring in. But guess what? They only gave him 6 chances.
They only give him what? 6 what?
How many games did he play? 6 games?
But he's not fired. He's still there.
He's been fired. He's been fired recently. They just fired him recently, unless it's a lie.
He just had a game today.
They fired him after the game.
Okay, I gotta go check it. I don't know.
Yeah, go check it out because I'm not 100% sure, but I saw it in a couple of articles.
Oga, let me ask you this. Why is it that when Congo beat Nigeria, then your coach said it was a voodoo? You see, the coach
Hey, don't bring that one again. No, look at man. I don't look at my high blood pressure. Don't come because you say I look for Congolese for this LA where I did. I won't fight Congolese because how dare you beat your brother? How dare you?
That was so
Difference
embarrassing.
between Brazil as a versus an African team.
Cosmic,
He wasn't fired, bro.
traumatized enough, man. Feel sorry for the
He
Congolese,
wasn't fired. And Maresca quit on Chelsea. They didn't fire him. He quit on the team. Yeah.
But imagine if it was a black coach that put it on the team. What would they
he's
say?
no longer there, though. Yeah.
Say that again.
You know what I'm saying? I say, imagine if Maresca was a black coach and he put it on the team. What would they say?
But he's not a black coach.
The old media. I'm saying you said Maresca quitted on the team, right?
Yeah, he did.
Well, so imagine Maresca being a black coach and he quitted on the team. What would you be seeing on BBC, Sky Sports?
Yeah, it's unusual for any coach to quit, but coaches can resign. The one thing is he was due like 14 million pounds, and since he quit, he's not going to get any compensation for leaving. So he saved Chelsea a lot of money. And then we brought in Rosinha, who is our coach at Strasbourg, which is a sister club of Chelsea that's owned by the group of companies that own Chelsea. And they brought him in as the next in line to succeed Maresca, which is fine. He's a mixed guy. He's being given a chance to manage in the Premier League.
No, Maresca is not mixed too. Maresca is Italian.
No, I'm talking about Rosinha, the current coach.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's been given a chance to manage, and he did pretty good. But in the Champions League, everything kind of fell apart. So he's not having the greatest time right now, but he had a decent start to his career at Chelsea.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That come on, give this guy a chance. At least give him a transfer window to buy.
Yeah, we are giving him a chance. He's not fired. I just checked that he's not fired.
Oh, he's not fired. Okay, because I saw about 2-3 at him. Nowadays, man, fake news everywhere.
I don't think Chelsea can recover from the previous owner of the team, the Russian guy Ibrahimovic.
Because
right.
Yeah,
let me interject on that. Let me interject on that. Right again, some Americans who don't know anything about soccer came and bought Chelsea. I already knew he was going to fail.
I obviously don't know about Abramovich and how they made him sell to the Americans, his homies over here. You know,
Shit,
Well, no,
yeah,
I mean they
because
got in that
I've been
body
knowing
soccer
about.
team.
Yeah,
They
man,
won
Y'all don't
two
know
I want
about
to
years.
hear.
football. Y'all
and
don't know
also
about the
Maresca
Man
is
in the High
business.
Castle. Man in the High
and
Castle. I
also
want to hear him.
Yeah.
I want to hear him
Shout
say
out to
something.
Nicholas Jackson.
you just want to laugh at him because you don't think he knows African football, do you? Well, go ahead,
I
man.
know
Hot Castle.
football. I know football.
Yeah, I want to hear him,
Yeah.
please. Yeah, go on. Yeah,
Oh
go
yeah,
ahead,
he
give
man.
me a
knows
chance. Let him
touchdown.
talk. Let him speak. Let him speak. Listen to him.
What's up, man? Hot Castle. What's your thought on the football stuff?
Yeah.
So,
I just told y'all. You know,
are you
I just told
FBA
y'all.
or are you
I'm the one
African?
who
Because you
brought up
sound like you know a
Chelsea.
lot about soccer. Most FBAs don't know about soccer.
Yeah.
I love money. I love clean pussy. And I
Oh, okay.
love this
Oh,
country.
okay,
And I
bro.
love this country, America. I've been said this. Come on,
No,
man.
we're just surprised you know about soccer. That's all, especially with the African players and
I
whatnot.
love gambling to make money from soccer.
Yeah, it's
I,
a
I
bit of
love money.
that's a bit of a
I love
degenerate
how to
behavior.
earn money too.
Hey, you know what? I think Dynasty will have a separate show for sports, African sport. That would be good, man. Oh, that would be good.
I just want to know your
Donnie,
opinion
don't
on.
do it. Africans just like to babble about sport. We'll say 5 hours here babbling
He
about
will, he
sport.
will, he
Don't do
will
it,
make a
Donnie.
lot of money, though. He will make a lot of money, though.
How much does it cost on the continent
Sponsor
of
the show.
Africa? Do you
Sponsor
think
it. We'll do it.
to make
Tell us to do it. Sponsor it.
to build a football team right now, a FC?
Depending on what country. Depending on
No,
what country
the
you're
thing
in.
about football, right? Let me just say this quickly. You know, the Europeans take it or leave it. They spend millions in developing their players.
Millions.
You don't just go and
Right.
build a team. You have to have a kid at maybe at 8 years old go
Yeah.
into an academy. So you're educating him in academics, but you're also educating him
In the
in sports.
fundamentals of the
But
game,
hold
too.
Yeah.
up though.
So it takes at least
Yo,
18
guys.
years.
You can buy
Yo,
out
guys.
other teams that are not
Yo,
successful.
guys.
If somebody
No,
wants
Yo,
to
listen.
guys.
See,
This,
I,
Elvis, do you
Castro,
know?
I hear what you're saying, but we are not organized in Africa for us to do. See, our leadership is just, I don't understand. They are just,
And one of
you get what
y'all
I'm
who
saying?
got
Like,
some
it's
millions, y'all can buy a team out there.
that's
I
the
don't know
thing.
how come y'all don't
The
think like
political
that.
system, there's a
Yeah.
lot of people want to do this, but the political system is just so bad that you can do
Yeah.
something and a politician can just come and just destroy it.
Hey,
Mm.
but Rabiu, the businessman Rabiu was offering millions. I think 500,000 for Nigeria to win the AFCON, but they didn't do it. They came close though. They performed
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But my
Did
point
you
here to
know
Yeah.
you,
that?
Is that?
hold
Yeah,
on, one
Did
Rabiu.
second.
you
Let
know
me just
that?
How
finish
much
this
you
up.
think he lost?
Let me just finish
But
this stuff. He didn't lose any money. He was offering money for them winning. But let me just
Oh,
finish the point, right? So, in order for Africa to invest in players that you can have homegrown players, which are players that were, went to your academy in your home country and came of the age of maturity, usually 18, to play professional football, you have to invest in them from childhood, pretty much from like 8 years old all the way up to maybe 16 when they sign their first professional contract, and then they become a professional. So it takes a lot of investment, and you're talking hundreds of players in maybe tens of academies across your continent, across your country, that can develop into world class players that can play on the World Cup and compete against the likes of Argentina, France, and Brazil. And that is just something that Africa don't have the means to do right now, especially West Africa.
No. No. I mean, look at
Ivory
But I
Coast,
Arsenal
think
at the
guys.
moment.
Ivory,
Look at
Ivory
Ivory,
Arsenal
Coast
I
at
is
the
think I
good.
moment.
think Ivory Coast right now they doing it a
Mm.
lot with Senegal and Ivory Coast. They have a lot of
Yeah.
South
They,
youth
Africa
team
as well.
coming up. They have a
South
But they
good
Africa
send
as
those
well.
players
South
out.
Africa has the best league in
They
Africa,
send them out
arguably,
quickly to Europe.
and
That's what I'm
Egypt.
saying. They don't let them get to that
Oh yeah,
16
yeah,
or
yeah,
17
yeah,
year.
yeah,
They
yeah.
sit there. The
yeah. They
scouts
don't
from
let
See,
Europe
them
come and
stay up.
take them up to Europe. That's the point.
Yep.
see,
Right.
in Nigeria, I did a calculation. I did a math that if Nigerian's league was working, how much would Nigerian league be making every season, right? And I said, okay, let's say Nigeria has a population of 250 million. Let's use England that has a population of 40 million, right? And Everton is
We
making
have a
about 5
population of
billion.
like 60 million, not 40.
Okay, 60 million, right? And you see how much they're making. So let's now bring that same context to Nigeria, right? And I did, in and out, and I realized that Nigeria every season will be making an estimate of 1 to 4 trillion naira every season. 1 to 4, just Nigeria alone. No, we have not talked about like okay, the rest of Africa getting involved though. So again, something is wrong with us. Something is fundamentally wrong with us. That
It's mad,
it's
isn't
the
it?
same reason.
Mad.
It's the same reason when we say we get wealth under our leg. In Sierra Leone, you feel they see diamond on top floor, but We have been intellectually ruined.
Right. I agree.
That we don't know how to lose money to make money. Because you see, in some business model, you have to first lose money in order for you to make money. But you see, when you have bad leadership, like the other dude said, he said Europeans invest millions because you build the school, you build the facility, you build the training center, the food they are going to eat, the traveling fee, everything. Then later, maybe to train one child to become a professional soccer player, it might cost you, let's use dollar, it might cost you maybe $50,000. So by the time he becomes a pro, you can sell him for $500 to $1 million. And in the span of 1 year, you could have sold about 20 children, not sold as a slave, was sold about 20 children and made about your money that you spend in 10 years, make it back 2-3 times back. But you still first have to spend money first.
Yeah, I mean, looking at chaotic, look what you're saying is true, because looking at the best leagues in Africa, Egypt is number 1, Morocco is 2, South Africa is 3, Algeria 4, Tunisia 5. You don't see any proper black African country that actually.
Nigeria used to be top 3 now. Nigeria used to be top 3.
Well, look at it today. Nigeria is not in the top 5 today.
So South Africa has a very good league. Very good.
It's not even top 10.
Yeah, for Black South Africa, they have good teams like Melody Sundowns, Pirates.
Oh yeah,
they got a couple of good teams in South Africa.
Yeah,
so they got that white capitalism there.
See,
and I'm surprised with Nigeria because they have so many sponsors. They have like MTN that can really sponsor their league.
But that's why I'm saying if Black Americans can come together, like Black American millionaires or more time, can go to Nigeria and start a basketball league, man, they will make so much money. They will make so much money.
They probably won't because like these what we call organized sports, the kids have to be playing at a young age to really have a full understanding of the fundamentals of the sports. So just a guy being tall and Brody and and Bronny doesn't mean he's going to be a great basketball player on the fundamentals of it.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to start from there first. You can bring in the locals. You can bring in Black Americans first. You can teach some. Not chaos. See, there's a way of doing things. You get what I'm saying? To every problem, there's a solution. To every solution, there are alternatives. No, see, brother.
He's calling your name. He's not saying you're causing chaos. He's calling your name.
Okay. Yeah, I'm listening. Yes, I'm listening.
Cosmic chaos. Yeah. I think that would be a good idea. But if they were to do it, I think they will get sabotaged. The West will sabotage them. The owners of the NBA will sabotage them. They wouldn't let it happen.
See, that's not even true. It's the opposite. The NBA has an African league right now in Rwanda that's playing, and they're looking for African talents, and they're bringing people from Nigeria, Angola, and other places across the continent to show their talents in Africa and maybe even come to the NBA. So it's the opposite. Don't blame the white man for everything.
No, see, this is one of the problems. This is one of the problems I have with we Africans. We think that we are going to do something in this world without pushback. We think that we are just going to, in this world that hate us so much, that want us to be destitute, we think that we have to do things without putting up a fight. See, this thing that we are talking about is trillions. It's big money. It is generational wealth.
Money. What is big money, sir?
Big money. I just told you. For example, if Nigeria was to make its soccer league great, just not even great, just average, they'll be making about 1 to 4 trillion naira every 3 months. That's about
what is that in dollars? What is that in dollars?
Pause it for a second.
That would be about 50 billion.
John Obi owns part of the Nigerian football team. I forget which one.
You mean John Mikel Obi, the former Chelsea player?
Nigeria does not have a functioning league.
No, hold on. Cosmic. Dangote was going to buy Arsenal.
Africa speak. Let him speak, please.
Yeah, please. Yeah, thank you. Dangote was going to man in the high cast. 1 second.
Yes.
Dangote, a Nigerian billionaire, was going to buy my football.
But they didn't sell it to him. Why didn't they sell it to him even though he has more money than all the people?
No, because it doesn't mean your net worth is not what matters when you're buying a team. You have to come with tangible assets. It's what you're offering up front. Usually you buy it with cash and then some of it is financed, over time. So if he's coming with only $1 billion and somebody's coming with $2 billion up front, they're not going to sell it to him.
No.
The financials have to make sense. Not just because you're worth more means they're going to sell it to you.
Yeah, I mean, we have football owners. We have Elvis. We have football owners in the UK who are not really that rich, to be honest. They what happen is they tend to know how to organize the finances. They're good accountants.
They don't want to sell it to a black man.
That's not true.
Show me any black man who owns anything.
You have to look at the financial of the deal.
Okay, guys. So I'm seeing the final Guinea against Morocco, right? So Morocco walked out of the field in 1976. And they came back and they won the cup and they gave the cup to
for 1 hour. 1 hour. They went out the pitch for 1 hour.
Cosmic, let other people speak.
Right. So that happened in 1976. So and now Guinea is saying that they need to get their cup back from Morocco because Morocco did the same thing to them. Walk out of the field. And none of these players are laughing anymore.
Yeah, that's so now. Do you got to the best?
Don't let Dubuya come from Morocco again,
Dubuya is already bullying Liberia and Sierra Leone. He's going to go to Morocco border and try to take their land for not giving him back his cup.
You probably will as well. He's probably already start sending his guys to Morocco for the cup.
What do we say about that goal that they disallowed?
What's that?
I said, what do we say about that? Okay. Imagine what?
Can you guys imagine if Canada was to face the United States at the final? Because we are the ones hosting the World Cup, right? Canada and United States, right?
And Mexico.
So if Canada was to face and Mexico, right? You're right. I always keep forgetting Mexico, but what if Canada was to face the US at the final? That would be crazy, right?
Canada has never beat the US in any finals, and they probably never will.
And the U.S. has never been.
And I like Canada because we got a Liberian boy there who is a Canadian captain, Alfonso Davies. He's injured again. Hopefully, it's not too bad. He can make it to the World Cup.
Alfonso is injured?
Yeah, he got injured for Bayern Munich like 2 games ago in the Champions League against who they were playing.
No, I like your league. I like your core league that you got there, man. I like your league you got in Liberia. I was watching them on YouTube. I think the young league.
That league.
What league are you talking about?
Stop being the games, man.
It's our elephant league, the Liberia First Division.
I mean, Africa, we have had a lot of good players from. We have Salensa Diva, Thomas Kojo, or Kelvin Singbe. All these guys were professional. Salensa played for PSG or he played for Monaco,
Arsenal. But that was our heyday, man. Every team have their golden generation. Even Brazil haven't won anything tangible since 2002. That's the last World Cup they won, and they have really great players. But
the world of soccer has changed now. Back in those days, right? It was only those countries that had a really good league that were able to show off. But now everybody plays. Everybody plays everywhere. You can say
Salomon Kalon played for Inter Milan. He was a very good player.
Kalon. Yeah, the Kalons, they're good. In fact,
3 brothers.
The Kalon School Academy in Sierra Leone have produced a lot of our young ones.
Kai Kamara, he's really good too. I think he's retired now. Kai Kamara.
Kai Kamara, Nathaniel Jallo, all this, Nathaniel Jallo is a really good player. Also, they all come from Kalon Academy. He's a really good guy, man. Kalon invested a lot in Sierra Leone football.
A lot of African football come from the ghetto too. This guy, they part of Africa, free China from the ghetto.
I want to create, when I have the money, I want to create a intertribal soccer league in Nigeria.
Stop it, Don. Let's put this guy down. Put him down.
You're in a tribal.
It's a tribal.
No. It's a soccer competition. Now. It's going to be
to be fair to you, right? We kind of have that in Liberia. We have what we call the county meets, right? And usually the county has different ethnic groups in there. And we have a county meet.
It's fun.
Anybody just won it. Yeah.
But again, players of tribal tension and bigotry, and people start to get into their little corner.
It's okay, though. That's why you're unifying. That's why you're
come on, man. You know, in Nigeria, the Igbos dominate your football, right? Let me just tell you that.
Man. Point of correction. No, hold on. Let me reply. Point of correction. Not Igbos. No, not Igbos. People from the Delta, right from time. You see, the Delta.
You're right.
Delta state of Nigeria is very mixed. So we have Yoruba. You can have a Yoruba guy that is bearing an Igbo name. So Delta state of Nigeria is very mixed.
All the names I see are mostly the Igbos. that you know,
The
even your
Delta,
current team, you have a lot of Igbos dominating now.
Elvis, you know the Delta people.
Yoruba got their own talent. They're really smart people that are doctors and professors, but they're not great
Delta
athletes.
people, the Delta people and your people are similar. You know that, yeah?
Hold on.
Elvis.
Somebody said
The Delta people and the Crew people.
They are Crew people, man. The Ijos.
Yeah, the Ijos. Yeah, well, we know we're related to the Ijos. Of all the sporting people, the Crew people dominate. For a small group, right? You got the Didier Drogbas, the Salomon Kalou, the Simon Denga, the George Weah, you know, a lot of Mark Gay, you know, from Manchester City. He's a Crew. You know, you got even the Desiree Doué. He's an Ivorian Crown. He and his brother Gila Doué. So for a small group of people, the Crew really excel in soccer. They've had a lot of
guys, I would like to reply to somebody. I would like to reply to somebody that said that Yoruba people are not great athletes. I would like to reply to them. Akim Olajuwon. I don't know Akim Olajuwon.
Yeah, you know Akim.
Ademola Lookman is Yoruba as well.
He's Yoruba. I can keep mentioning them. Saka is
Yoruba.
No, hold on. The difference is that let me say something.
Rashidi Yekini, he's the top scorer in Nigeria history.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah, but
Julius Agahoa.
No, that's it's Delta. He's from Delta. He's from Delta.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about George
let me say
Fellini?
something.
George Fellini from where?
Babayaro. Celestine
They were raised in
Babayaro.
Yoruba land. They were raised in Yoruba land.
Where is Babayaro from? Is he northern?
He was born in Lagos. You can say, but he's a northern. But his people are northerner. A lot of these people that are mentioning were
Terrible West is a
Agbero.
Is a Fulani Yoruba. Just like what's his name? Yeah, just like
Daniel Amokachi.
Just like this guy, this musician as well. He's Fulani Yoruba. What's his name? Keith Daniel. You know they got all the people. Yeah, Keith Daniel is Fulani Yoruba, right?
For real? No, I thought it was pure Yoruba because he was born in Abeokuta.
No. It's Fulani Yoruba. Yeah, a lot of mixture. Africa in general, we're good at sport and music. Yeah, we're good at sport and music in general.
I just learned recently that the Nupe people and Yoruba people are very similar, like almost like the same people.
No, they're not the same people. They're very similar. Nupe are not mixed with Yoruba. They interacted for a long time though, but they're not the same. I've been researching that. Ibrahim
Babangida is Nupe, right? From Mina?
No, it's Hausa. Pure Hausa. Babangida is Hausa from Niger State.
No, I think he's from
No. Ibrahim Babangida is a Hausa man.
Abubakar Gafelewa Belewa.
He's not. I don't think he's Fulani, but he's from one of those
What state is Mina in? Where he lives? Is it Niger still?
Niger State is a Nupe majority, but they mix with Fulani and Yoruba and Hausa. Niger State is a hybrid state of mixture of different people. Yeah, it's a hybrid state. They're very mixed people. But because the Yoruba and during the Mali Empire, again, our ancestors, that used to be the trade routes to the south, to the Yoruba land.
Oh yeah, we Yoruba people know about the Mali because that's where we actually learned Islam. Islam did not come to Yoruba through. Yeah. It did not come through the Arabs. We learned it from the Malians, and we used to go to Timbuktu for our education.
Yeah, the Fula and the Mandinka brought to Islam to you guys and to the Yoruba land. That's way before Danfo, way before that. That's why
Can I say something?
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah, didn't you know that?
You are right. You are right.
Yeah, do you know the Bayo? You know, Mandinka got the name Bayo, yeah?
Bayo, yeah.
Bayo. Do you have Mandinka who's Bayo? You have Yoruba who's Bayo.
I believe you.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Because
you know, what is his name? CD. You know, Kekua Bayo Poto from Lofa, right? You
from Lofa, yeah.
He's a bandit man. He's a bandit man from Lofa.
Yeah. I know. Even Dr. Keseli too. Dr. Keseli.
Yes, Cosmic.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. I believe you because you see, within we Yorubas, there's always some certain people that are among us. They are usually very tall, very dark. They have this
people. Yeah, that's my friend.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? They're just so distinct, and but they are Yoruba. But because among we Yoruba, there's a difference we can tell. But So I think those people are the Mandinka who came and mixed with us and became the Yorubas.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you watch Arise, do you watch Arise News? Do you watch Arise News?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know Arise
We
News?
watch channel television. We don't watch Tinubu's own.
No. The point I'm trying to make is, you know, that dark skinned guy is Yoruba, right? What's his name? That dark skinned man, that tall dark skinned man.
Is it Chamberlain? Chamberlain is on channels.
Wait. Yeah, Dr. Abati, yes.
Abati,
Yoruba,
okay. Yeah.
He's Yoruba, but I think he's of Mandinka heritage.
Yes, that's what I said to you. The Fula and the Mandinka, the Fula and the Mandinka been going to what you call Yoruba lands around the 15th century. They've been going there for years. What they do is, they used to bring their trade routes to what you call Ilorin today. So that's way before Danfo. Okay? Way, because anytime this is why people will always mix history and destroy history. They mix it, they destroy a good history to a bad history, which is really bad of Africans. The Fulani and the Mandinka, they used to bring their goods to the Yoruba people, and they give it to the Yorubas to take it to the south, to all the way to where you got the deltas today, okay? So they used to bring the goods all the way to the southern Nigeria and Benin region and sell and bring some of the
because we did have our corridor. Our corridor was in the middle.
Yes. And they bring copper back from and melting irons back from the Benin Kingdom back to the Mali for the Fulani and the Yoruba.
Which was a very strong empire. People don't mention that. The Benin Kingdom was a very strong empire.
Of course. So when we bring our goods to them, they sell it. This is the reason why the exchange of power between the Fulani and the Yoruba in Nigeria is not surprising, because they build what they call trust between them over the centuries. You know, that's why they don't have problems switching power to say you can rule for this year, I can rule for, you know, like the farmer and the Mansa system that we have of rulership in West Africa is a similar thing they have between the two tribes in Nigeria. So,
but the Fulani is trying to Islamize us, though.
Yeah, I know. Don't. It's not there.
Don't say that. Don't say that part out loud. I don't like to hear that part.
Let's don't put this religion thing into it. But this is way before religion and all this stuff, right? So basically, it's a trade route between two group of people. But you're right. Even ancient, you know what? When I see some of the Yoruba people, they look very Mandinka. When I see some Yoruba people, they look very Fulani. They don't look too. Well, it's a topic for another day.
I mean, Fulani people in Yoruba land, we just know that people as cattle rearers, they go back and forth. That's why we don't know where this terrorism is coming from. They go. They always come. They talk. Some of them will stay. Some of them will stay behind.
Let's keep it light on a sports topic.
When I see someone like Anthony Joshua, who's a boxer. The first time I saw him, I thought Anthony Joshua is a Fulani. He doesn't look Yoruba.
No, he's a Syria. He's a what do you call him? A Syria Yoruba from like Brazil. His ancestor came from Brazil.
Oh my Lord, he looked like a Fulani so bad. He looked like a Fulani too, man.
Yeah. What, because he's lighter skin? Come on, man.
No, but Fulanis don't get that build though. Fulanis don't have that build. They can
Fulanis are so skinny, it's hard for them to really put on weight.
No.
I bet some of them can be big though. Some of them can be really big.
Very little of them. They drink so much of that milk, you know, they got that parasite in their stomach eating all their food, so it's hard for them to really put on fat.
The Fulani in Guinea and Senegal, the Fulani in Guinea and Senegal are very big and tall.
Yeah, somebody can be really big.
And I'm told, I must say, in fact, the reason why Fulani don't mix with certain group of people in West Africa, in Nigeria, because they're short. They don't want to lose the height. It's the reality. The Olof are the tallest, the Mandinka and also are taller, and the Fula. I think they're the three tallest tribes in West Africa. The Fula, the Wolof, the Mandinka, and the Fula are the tallest tribe in West Africa.
Oh yeah,
all the other tribes are short.
Oh no! What about the Acholi and the Sudanese?
The West Africa.
West Africa. My bad. I stand corrected. My bad.
Yeah, the tallest.
But about the Igbo, I don't understand the Igbo sometimes. They think they all think that they should be white, and then when they're not light skinned, then they bleach. Why did you?
No, there's a lot of light skinned Igbos. You know.
What I'm saying is that Une didn't want.
You know what that is?
Yeah,
it's because of the Borno Empire. Remember the Borno Empire sat on top of the Igbo territory.
Canon Bono.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
The Kanuris entered into the Igbo territory during those days, and they
is
made
that
people
why they
women.
are fighting over Ikwere land?
I didn't see any video, bro.
This guy
Ah.
remind me of an African movie character, man.
This
Yeah.
you see, this is why this tribalism business is fucking dumb, bro. I don't- you know, when we argue about tribalism and your tribe is this that tribe, it just make me laugh. You know, yeah, it's funny. It's
We are
so
all mashed
crazy.
up.
There's no, we all mixed up myself way before times, bro. Way before times. Way before
Yeah.
times. It's just silly. And even the Mandinka and the Fula, we have so many branches of us.
Oh
I know
yeah,
some
yeah,
Mandinka
yeah,
with
yeah,
certain
yeah,
last
yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah.
I've known some
Well,
Mandinka with some last name. I know they're Fula. I know some Fula with their last name. I know they're Mandinka.
so
No, no.
It's
so
so
Even
after
me,
easy.
they will
Africa,
call me.
just to give
They
you
will call me Wasulum Fla. Even though I don't speak Fula, but they think I'm Wasulum
Yeah,
Fla because
that's
CDB
that's
no,
Sangare
fine.
Wasu
Jalo
is in
Jati.
Mali, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Mali
Yeah,
No, no, the
tribe.
so
Mandinka.
that's where Umu
Umu
Sangara is
Sangare.
from.
Okay,
Yeah, she's the Sunbird
my
Assassin.
mom is Sangare. So if you see
Okay.
CDB
Sangareji.
Sangare,
Yes,
Jalo Jakite, these are the full tribe.
yes.
Full. I mean, last name in my tribe, right? So if you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Jagite, Jalo, CDB Sangare.
Mm,
So that's why I said Thomas
yeah.
Sankara, his last name was not Sangara. He just changed
She's
it
a
to be
Fula.
Sangare. You know,
Mm,
you
yeah.
know.
So I
Me,
was
Oma,
asking you, right,
I
out in
was
city, right, with what's going on in Guinea and Liberia, because we just had a peace talk or
Yeah,
diplomatic engagement with Dumbuya, along with the Sierra Leonean president, I think over the
right.
weekend or over the week.
mhm.
And the guy agreed, he acted like he agreed to the terms to try to, settle that border dispute. And then after the talks, he sent soldiers back there to the border and reoccupied the spot. So now it's like he's
Right.
trying to escalate. The guy is a thug. That's why we don't like these military guys, because they come in there and they
Can
think
That's
I?
what
everything is
Can me?
I've
negotiable.
been telling people all the time. His mentor is Paul Kagame. This is what this guy is
Okay.
doing. He's fighting neighboring country, taking their land.
Chidi, we're gonna
He's
argue.
a drug addict. This guy do drugs.
No,
He was a
Chidi, no,
liaison
that's not
officer. He was
true.
a missionary. I've been telling
Chidi, let's be
people this guy
fair.
is the worst leader ever.
Chidi,
Eh?
I know. It's finished, right? The problem with that issue that happened in Liberia and Sierra Leone, all this started with Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai, the Makono River. Okay,
Mhm.
as we were talking earlier, we said about the mixed tribe inside tribes. The Makono, the Kono people are Mandinka people. Okay, now the Makono River that you have within that border there that they're fighting over is
Mhm.
a river that was heavily occupied area that was heavily occupied by the Mandinka before the Kisi people got chased out of Guinea and they come and occupy that land. Okay, and Joseph Walker is a Kisi guy, right? Come
Yeah.
from that ethnic group.
Yeah,
Someone needs
from
to
From
be.
Lofa.
Kisii
Yeah.
in Guinea.
Yeah, it's a Kisi. Yeah. The Kisi are very new in West Africa. A lot of people don't know that. They're one of the last people who came from Central Africa. I think they actually came through West Africa through the
And,
Bantu
and
expansion.
they are in Kenya
Who,
too. I was surprised to see the Kisi
No,
no,
tribe.
they came.
different
They're not.
people. Different
Okay.
people.
No, they
Okay.
came from Central Africa. They came from Central Africa. The Kisi
Okay.
are
But
actually not really. One second, don't let me finish, bro. The Kisi are not really original West African people. If you're talking about foreigners in West Africa, they're one of the groups that are not. But so Joseph Boakai was building a house in a project in that area, but they was using the river, Makono River, the sand in that area to build the house. But he did not just took it by, just like that. He went and asked the prefect, who was the governor in that area, his
Mhm.
permission. Okay. So, but what happened is when Dumbuya won the election, okay, and he changed the person that's there and he replaced because when they win election or the
He's
anytime
not
they
even
any sort of
election.
office.
Nobody will run against
Yeah, I
him.
know,
Just
I
a
know.
fucking
So
guy.
so they basically changed that person to a new person. But however, he did not consult the new person for the saying, look, I already had a deal with the person that was here before. Can I continue taking the sand from the river? And also, there are other people who Bokwai company. Bokwai used the advantage of that by giving license to some company to start mining in the river. Okay, and that river belongs to Mandinka people, the Kono people. Okay, your people city. They belong to your ancestral hood.
How
But
can you say that a river belongs to a people that flows through
no, but
our
both
borders?
sided, both no, both for the side, both side of the river, that area was Mandinka territory. If I'm honest with you, if the
Yeah,
Mandinka
but it's
give,
on our
if
territorial
I'm
land.
going, if yeah, but now okay, that's before the separation between the states, between Liberia and before the white man came, those two tribes was there. But the Kisi, because it was chased out that in that area in Guinea, they was given home by the Mandinka to settle in that area. Okay, but now by when he changed leadership in that area, he did not consulted, and Bokai went too far. Even they're even Liberians right now. They're having to go with Bokai for being corrupted, for being a corrupt guy and not actually following procedure the right way. That now this situation have led to what it is
You
today.
fall into the same trap, Africa, because that's what the guy is doing to Sierra Leone. We are a sovereign nation, right? We have borders. Our borders have
Mm,
defined boundaries, right? And there's a
mm.
side of that river that falls within our territorial integrity of our
That's
country.
true.
That's we
That's
have
true.
sovereignty over that land by international law. So what many
Hmm.
people were saying, and you're kind of alluding to that we should have went and asked this guy for permission to mine, to do anything on that river, as if to say he's the king and we have to go and get permission from our big daddy to do anything because they have a
Maybe they
stronger
do.
military. But
Maybe
it
they
shouldn't
do.
be that
Maybe
way. As a sovereign country,
maybe
we
you
shouldn't.
should.
It shouldn't be
Maybe
that
they
way.
don't know what
Everybody
contract
there?
because Sierra Leone, who created Sierra
We
Leone?
got some
What
new
are the
people on the
charter?
panel. We'll pass the mic to them. Let them speak.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no, Elvis,
Yeah, well,
let's
guys,
not just ignore this because
let me pass the mic to
oh,
Amar after Amar's bang.
okay.
Hello?
Oh
How
boy.
y'all doing?
Yes,
Hello?
Amara, everybody. Yeah, everybody.
Good, 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 good.
Eid Mubarak, Eid Mubarak, Eid Mubarak.
Emo Barak, yo. How was your Eid?
Okay. Yeah, man, alhamdulillah, man. I went to London,
Okay.
and spent some
All right.
time there. Yeah,
I
see
prayed.
family.
I prayed over here. I prayed over here in America. It's a Black American church. Yeah, Musk. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Why
Anyway,
you laugh? Why
That's good,
you?
man. Mm.
anyway, we're talking about African football. It's not being respected. Yeah, when you have uh tournaments like that where you have Moroccans grabbing towels of the goalkeepers and stuff like that. The organizational thing about African football is our problem. We we want to be Europe, but we can't be Europe. You see what I'm trying to say? If you're doing Africa Cup and you have to lay down the rules. You have to have a master of outside of the referee. There should be a master of the game, somebody that controls the game right there the lanes between two teams. If somebody walks out of the field and think
Is somebody talking?
they
I
cheated,
don't hear you.
you can't hear me.
Yeah, we can hear him, CD. Can
Oh,
you hear
okay.
him?
Nah, I don't
Can
hear
you
Can
you.
hear
you hear
me?
me?
Nah.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you. Maybe it's your mic, my brother.
I hear you. I think it's CD. CD probably have to go back out and come back.
Okay. Okay. All right, man.
Yeah. So my train of thought is we want to be like Europe, but we lack the organizational thing. When you do management, you want to manage a football tournament. You have to have the master of the game on the field that lays between both teams. You see what I'm trying to say? He's supposed to. It's supposed to be guy overhead both coaches. You call both coaches in and tell them, hey, these are the rules of the game. You can't walk out of the game even though you think they're cheating you for the sake of African football. Because whatever we're doing out there is representative of what Africa is. They don't take us serious. That's why when some of these boys want to leave their clubs and go for a play a qualifying game, the clubs don't, always fighting these boys. Even the Liverpool coaches, racist guy, Klopp, made a comment about uh, uh, Africans going to the African Nations Cup, and it's some little African competition that's in the way. You want a white man to take you serious? The management of the game. That's what's important. That's what we lack. So we're doing the typical African thing. When we are out there in the field, on the dirt field, the mud field, when we're playing the games. Some people be like, "Oh, I'm not playing anymore." You walk out the game. That's a typical African mentality. You think because they take them to Europe and professionalize them, and they play for all these big clubs, they would have left some of these attitudes. You have the management of the game, the education of the whole thing is what is the problem. We lack all that, and yet we try to have this image of us elevated. I mean, I always wanted African, Europeans, and particularly Europeans. That's the main problem, because even me, I have in my kingdom, me and 15 other dudes. We're coming up with a league for these young boys because they're taking they're on these drugs called Kush. So we're trying to come up with in Sierra Leone we call it a gala, where you invite these boys to come together, young boys, instead of taking drugs, play the game. We're gonna drug test you. We don't buy all the drug test kits. We're gonna drug test you. We educate you about the severity of the game, the management of the game, the image of the game, and we educate you on what we want you to do. But all that you gotta spend more time in training the people, educating them, so they know once they're going out there what they're going out there for. But we don't do that. We just see Europeans. This is the thing. It steps before the Europeans show you the final game, the European Nations Cup. It stages to it, from the youth level to the academy level to the non-league level to the like the fourth division, all the way to the Premier League, all the way, every stage of the way, they're educating you of the values of the game. You do not bring the game in the imagery of the game is more important. You're not going out there for yourself. You're going out there for the image of the game. You don't want to give a bad name to the image of the game. Every stage after stage after stage, they educate you. We don't want to put in the work. We don't want to spend the money. We just say, oh, Europeans are doing this and doing it, and we could put something together and say, oh, this is African football. And we look at the most shameful and disgraceful thing. When the national team, they pick the national, the coaches for the national team, they're going to pick a white man. They don't want to spend the money in coaching management. You have to have coaching schools on every level all throughout Africa. Every village, every town, you have to have a coaching school. Then you give opportunities to those coaches to come up through the rank and file. But we don't want to do that. We'll go for the quick fix. We want a white man coach because they don't do all the same thing with the players. We're fighting over the players that were born in those European countries, and because they were born over there, we want them to sign them up to the national team, and we can't even pay their salaries. We can't do that. We don't want to put in the work. So what?
I'm saying if you can land your plane so we can pass the mic.
You gonna let me finish?
Elvis, let him finish, man, please.
All right, Amari, you got 45 seconds. And I pass the mic to Bang.
Yeah, that's the thing. Africans don't want to do the work. They don't want to listen. They don't want to do the work, hard work. Okay, pass on to something else. You gotta do the work, bro. Okay, I'm done.
All right, go ahead, Bang. Then we got to close out.
I'm mad. The Fulani Supremacists. Are you there?
Bang.
Elvis, stop. Let's start him off, please, Elvis.
I wanted to hear him, man. I thought he got something smart to say.
I mean, he's doing right, though. I just think we have the wrong people in the right position. That's just the problem. The problem is that we have the people who can do these things. It's just that for some reason they are unable to get to those positions. So that's the question. Why I say that these people, because we have Nigerians and Africans who are holding high position and directing corporations, Fortune corporations and things like that. So we do have the talent. We have people who can do it. So the question is that why are these people not able to get to those positions? And we all know why.
Let me just answer you, right? So let's take the United States, for example, and draw a parallel with that, with the United States and NATO to the African, Football Confederation. So you have one or two countries who are wealthy, who have access money, or have abundance, who can then take that money and put it into
I'm sorry. I don't buy that nonsense.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
You sound very eloquent.
It's not about money.
I will never believe that idea that Africa is broke.
No, let me make the point. I'm drawing this parallel to tell you that take Europe and NATO, for example. A lot of these European nations are wealthy nations by comparison to us, right, as Africans. But they're not wealthy enough to a point where they can really put in tens of billions of dollars into NATO. So the wealthiest of all the nations, the United States, have to put the most in. So relative to Africa, you have quote unquote wealthy nations like Nigeria and other countries in Africa who are quote unquote wealthy compared to, relative to other African countries. But then you have the Northern African countries who are the wealthiest amongst us, African nations. So they tend to contribute more and they have more say in how CAF is ran and how it's organized because they put more, financial support into it. So that's what it is. If Nigeria have an extra $1 billion United States dollars to put in CAF, I guarantee you the Nigerians will be saying we're hungry, we're suffering, and you have $1 billion to put into football. We need that money for school and education. That's what they'll say.
Elvis, I disagree. Hold on. I disagree too. I disagree because Elvis, everything you're saying right is just schematics. It's just you're saying nothing well, right? It doesn't even make sense.
All right.
Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore is able to build what we could not build in 100 years. He's building it in less than 3 years. Why?
What do you think he's building that Nigeria doesn't have? Respect to Burkina Faso. Nigeria is far more developed than Burkina Faso.
We are talking about systematic corruption. We are talking about
we can't hear you, Bang. We can't hear you. You need to log back in and out.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Ahmed. We can't hear you.
Hello?
But what I'm telling you, Burkina Faso is not more developed than Nigeria.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me make my point. Okay. Sorry to cut you off, Amara. Sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
What we are talking about here is systematic, a nation, a continent that has no leadership class, that has no elites, right? When you talk about the Anglo-Saxon elite, you talk about the Carnegies, the Rothschild, the Rockefellers. And I think that an investigation needs to be done that I think is that class of Africans have been systematically eradicated because you see a society is moved by its elites, right? So you can talk about the African Union, the European Union and whatever body they have, NATO, everything. It is their elites who control that organization. It is their elites who move that society forward, who say this is where we're going to go and this is the sacrifice we're going to make based on what the resources they have, the institutions they have, the people who are doing the work. Like Amara was saying, they have institutions on every corner. They have the best brains doing the best things. Okay. Now, let's not talk about. Hold on. Give me.
No. It's Ben's time to talk. Let him speak, please.
No. Hold on. Let me make my point and land. Okay. Give me 20 seconds. See, when your best brain, is competing with the worst brain, you always win. So the game here is they are using their best brains to compete against your worst by putting your worst to the position that they're not supposed to be in. That's the game, and that's the reason why we are where we are.
I gotta pass the mic to Bang. I gotta close out. Go ahead, Bang.
Yeah. Let me say something, right? Happy to those three countries, right? Happy what you call it, Mubarak, right? To those three Muslim countries, right? Because at the end of the day, when Christmas comes, yes, man. When Christmas comes, right? I want super African Christians to do the same thing, man. I want us to be part of Paul Bear. I want us to be proud of Liberia president because he's a super African Christian too. I want them, you know what I'm saying? I want us to be proud of these Christians, these people that come up here and vote for Christians. Exactly, man. But let me get to the point, right? I went back a couple years ago, right? I seen the guy that so-called represent us on FIFA, right? When I went to the field and watched the guys play, right? The condition of the field, the manners of the field, the development, the system was so lack and so disrespectful, right? And I seen the guy. The guy was surrounded by like securities and stuff like that. So I'm like, how could a guy like this care about African, soccer? There's no way, because look at the field. This was our top league. It was disgrace and a disaster as well. So I'm thinking, right? This makes no sense. It's done on purpose. African, sports system, soccer, right, is designed like that. Because when you look at the people that represent us on FIFA, right? When you look at their what do you call it? Like their way of doing things, right? They have no history of developing nowhere, not even their own villages. Not even their own villages. So
What are you
how can you
talking
put
about?
some
Patrice Motsepe is a developer. He's done a lot
hold
of great things in South Africa.
okay, Elvis. You are one of them Africans that say Africans have the capacity. So please, why are you still worried about Africans then? I don't understand, Elvis. I don't understand, please. Because if somebody don't have the capacity, why are you still talking about Africans then? Please,
What are you
Elvis, man.
talking?
No, because you like to use the word Africans have the capacity. You like to use that word. That is
Yeah,
your
in
favorite word,
certain things, but they're
Africans.
capable in other
No,
things.
no, okay, let me get to the point. Let me speak my mind, Elvis. You've been here for like 2 hours. Let me just speak my mind. We could go on because I've seen it raw-handed. I've seen it, right? So at the end of the day, right, if you don't have industry that their purpose is to develop young players and have a league, how can you compete? Because if I take Mbappe and put him in some African countries when he was 10 years old, there's no way you're going to have Mbappe. There's no way. But then if I put Mbappe in some French country 10 years old, look at Mbappe. Look at all these great players. Look at all Saka. Saka is a Yoruba man, if I'm not mistaken. If Saka was born in somewhere in Ogun State, he will never be that player.
Saka is the same
Because you know
type of
what?
Yoruba that we're talking about earlier, the Mandinka
Yes,
Yoruba
because
Mali link. The same
yeah,
one I was
because you know
talking
what?
about earlier with
Because
Sidi
you
and
hold on, Africa, hold on.
Cosmic.
Because the
Yeah,
system
yeah, go on.
is not there. The system for you to produce these type of players is not there. So then you will never have soccer. You will never have all these great players. That's why you see all these great players now are coming from England, coming from France. It used to be dominated by France, but now you see England now. You start to see Germany now because you know what? Africans are spreading all over Europe. But this is what I keep saying, Africans, right? If you don't want to create your own, you will never be respected in this world. You will never be respected in this world. I don't care what nobody
That's
says.
true.
If you think going to Europe is how you develop your own players, come on now. Your players gonna be representing England. Your players gonna be representing France and all these other countries. And then you will never have great players. Never have great players. There's
They
so
don't
many
want to
great
put in the
players,
work.
man. So many
Africa
great
has had
players.
many great players, man. We even have a FIFA Ballon d'Or winner.
Ah,
You
come
got to
on,
put
come
in
on,
the
While we
man.
work,
got
man.
while you guys
Elvis,
here,
let me finish.
let's pray to God. Let God bring peace in the
Let
man
me
river
finish.
union, yeah? Because we are man
Let me
river
finish,
Our,
children,
Elvis.
our
too.
R. Kelly just had an overdose in jail. Hopefully he makes
Hold on.
it.
Let me finish. Oh my
Tell
God, man. Shout out to the hold on.
yeah, Elvis, man.
No, it's
Shout out to
true.
the hold on, Elvis, man. Man, shout out
Seriously,
to the
that's sad.
Man, shout out to the FIFA winner. I mean, not the FIFA winner, the Ballon d'Or. Oh, he's a Fulani man. Ballon, Dembele. Full of supremacy, man. I love it.
Oh
But
God,
anyway,
man, stop it, man, please.
no. Hold on. But seriously though, we don't have these organizations. That's why we don't produce nothing. If you don't have this organization, how can you produce things? It's impossible, man.
That's true.
Let's be serious. Let's be serious. It's not
Yeah.
magic. It's sports. I mean, look at it. We dominate this. Black people in America dominate football and all these other things, right? So
We need
which
to
means
start
that
dominating sectors. I agree.
yeah, it's our DNA. We just need to develop these institutions. It's common sense. Develop this institution, you have dominant players. You look at all these countries that have great players, right?
What
You
do you
always
need to
have
develop those institutions?
you have to have academy. Academy
Yeah, you need
sports.
money. And Africa is
Okay,
short
what
on
about these
money.
boys
Yeah,
that
Elvis, you
play
have
But
these
all the
Elvis,
money,
leagues
man. The
on
money's
the
there,
dark
you can't
web
Elvis,
keep
man.
making
all
It's not
day?
excuses for
about money,
failure,
man.
Elvis.
The
That's wrong.
money's there, man. Be quiet, man. Be quiet, man, with this money thing. The money's there. God damn it, man.
Okay.
The money's there. It's not about the money. It's about the people that's in position of developing these institutions.
If you're
They're
the
corrupt.
8th poorest
They steal
country in the
money.
world, you think you have enough money to do sports
Man,
academy at a high level?
listen.
A year ago, you were saying Burkina Faso did not have no money, right? A year ago, I remember. That's why I keep saying.
Burkina Faso is one of the poorest country in the region. What are you saying, bro?
Why do you come to African
Has
people?
nothing to do with football development.
I don't understand it, Elvis.
You don't
I
develop football in a vacuum without money, brother. We're just talking about academy. The
Listen,
academies take money to be
you know
run.
the fields out there where they got these boys out there playing football.
Africans, Elvis.
You know how many leagues out there, these small leagues in the backyard?
Yeah, but those guys are not playing on the world stage at a world-class level. Those are just neighborhood footballers.
You know, under 15, under 15 competition, under 17 competition. You know where they pick those boys from? They pick those boys from those backfields. What you talking about?
Yeah, but those are local people, and they didn't go through academies, so
All the boys that
it's
fill up
harder
the
to
academy
develop
are
them to
picked
their
up from those
fullest potential.
backfield, the backyard. When those boys
That's
are
what I'm
playing the
telling you.
streets,
A backyard
they
player
picked up
who
from
has
there.
no proper, introduction to the game and proper training, his ceiling is way lower than a player who's
Listen,
been
those
trained
boys,
from 8 years old all the way to
the
adulthood.
white man does not pick up all those boys. The rest of them, you can
All
put
of
them
our
in the
great
academy.
African soccer icons, plied their trade in Europe. Samuel Eto'o was at the Real Madrid Academy, played for Seville, and then went to Barcelona,
Yeah,
right?
that's because
George
we
Weah
don't
went to
spend, we
France,
don't listen.
went to Monaco,
We don't have
PSG, then
encourage the
AC
ball.
Milan. Didier Drogba went to France, went from Metz, before he went to Marseille, and so on.
Elvis, let me ask you a question.
These are not backyard footballers.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
You Paraguay started football, playing football. When did Argentina start playing?
Big man, one second, please. Elvis, let me ask you a question, right? To build a decent academy, right? Does it take miracle?
It takes money. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you have enough billionaires in West Africa to do that, Elvis. Just the will that's not there.
Is it like 50 billion?
It's in tens of millions, consistently putting tens of millions.
It don't take that much.
It does.
You don't take that much.
That's what you guys don't understand.
In my Ghana, the boys,
African thing than Elvis, man. What's wrong with you?
Hold on. Let me say this to you. When you have an academy, a functioning academy, right? It's multifaceted. You have to have a school within that academy that's going to teach these kids academics. You have to have a nutritionist that's going to make sure they're eating the right food.
All that is cheap.
You have to have. Hold on. You have to have sports scientists there. You have to have doctors that help them with recovery. All of those things cost money.
All that could be sourced locally.
Okay, fine.
You do for business.
What do you think these people that go to school for? Being a nutritionist, being a biologist, we have all those teachers. All them locally.
Man, come on. Academy, it's a business, right? At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, it's a business, right? Exactly. Yeah. So which means now, if you put your money in, you're gonna get something out of it. You only need to sell one or two.
You're gonna get your money back.
Man, for like $5 or $10 million, you get your money back easily.
It doesn't take that much.
You guys are talking theory. We're talking about what's on the ground practically right now.
Hey, guys, we got to close out. Everyone, thanks for joining. Like, share, subscribe to the next time, family. Peace.
Man, full of supremacy.